you chronic product.
Hello, and welcome to the Saladcast on Sunday, the 2nd of November, 2025. I'm your host, Dan Train. Joining me today, Zachary Burgess.
It's not Halloween, but also not technically fireworks.
And Robert Gebb.
So you're post-spooking?
Well, I mean, everyone did fireworks last night, so as they do. It's the closest weekend to...
Well, there weren't that many about, like, yesterday. Like, a lot of them have gone next weekend in the area.
I think it's because of Halloween, otherwise.
Yeah, you'd have them happen at the same time, basically.
No, sorry, I'm a bit wrong. I think Ipswich did its big fireworks thing last night. Yeah. And, and everyone else just gets out of the way of that one, I think. Just be like all the little towns will do it like some other week.
So when is it? Wednesday? Like, that's like exactly midway. Hump. I would err towards the next weekend for sure.
Hump works.
Yeah. Or Guy Fawkes. Do you call it bonfire night or fireworks night or
whatever happens to come to mind at the time?
I don't know, actually.
whatever one.
Yeah. I don't think I have a preference with the name. It's just whatever flow I'm feeling at that time.
Feeling the flow.
Not something my voice usually does.
Of Catholic insurrection.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little bit traitorous today.
Yeah, traitorous. I feel like blowing up Parliament.
Isn't that every day?
Yeah, most days.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a lot of effort, though.
Said
you might get
Pinky in the
discovered. It doesn't work out so well.
I mean, I guess it's probably not that much effort to do some amount of explosive damage to the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah, but they had all the explosives in place. They managed to put them all in the exact right spot.
Someone just forgot to bring a match.
Yeah. Oh, it was so close.
I mean, that's why it's way harder then, because it's just like they didn't have remote detonation, and also the amount of explosives was like a huge pile of barrels, not just like a single brick of C4 or something.
Yeah,
you could get away with nowadays.
I mean, realistically, you just leave a lunchbox somewhere, right? These days.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no, because that would immediately get detected because everyone has been so thoroughly trained to recognise out of place packages nowadays.
But what if a
school
school trip just visits the Houses of Parliament?
Doesn't matter. Put it in a bomb-proof shield and blow it up. Regardless of what it is.
I mean, you're probably right. And like the trick is probably like, it's time, isn't it? It's like if you're gonna do it, it's got to be pretty quick.
Yes.
These days, or you just huss something.
Have you ever seen
drones, obviously,
or drones? Yeah.
Then we're all screwed.
Yeah, it's all good.
Amazon will deliver bombs.
Yeah, probably. That'll probably be because like the shit you can buy on Amazon at the moment is just like any old random listing.
That's true.
Was it
deliver hydrochloric acid directly to someone's house?
I don't know what the name is for like their drone delivery. Is it like it's like Amazon Air or something? Like,
what happens if it delivers more drones and they pop out of the package, burst out?
Lots of smaller drones.
Yeah, smaller drones. Yeah, it's like a carrier drone,
each with one bullet payload.
That they drop. From enough height to just annoy you.
Thunk.
Ow!
That's really annoying.
I think drones are a big problem for prisons and stuff, aren't they? Or already, people smuggling stuff in.
Well, you
really
wouldn't have
easily.
thought that, I don't know, just put up a net.
I know.
That doesn't seem like it would be that much of a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a pretty big net, but quite easily solvable.
Even before drones, I remember looking up on Wikipedia that escaping from prison in a helicopter, you'd think that's a movie thing that doesn't happen in real life. You look it up, happens loads of times.
Right, yeah.
It's quite a common way of escaping prison is with a helicopter.
But you know what would happen though? They'd put a net up over the prison, and then there'd be some sort of outcry over, but it's bad for the prisoners' mental health because they feel even more enclosed even when they're outside.
But they're locked up.
You wouldn't even see it. It'd be like,
I'm not saying I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think you might
fishing line
because they wouldn't put it. They wouldn't put it like 4 times the height of the prison away, wouldn't they? You'd still see it. And someone would claim that, right? So, just someone would say it,
Well, in that case, make it retractable. You don't have to have it up during the daytime when the actual prison officers are looking. Just have it only be there when they're not looking.
But then, surely, if it was I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking of like American prisons from films or something like where there's the towers and there's guys in the towers or something. It's like properly guarded, which I don't think most prisons
don't have sniper towers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's a guy outside at all times, right? On a lot of them, and it's just like because that's all it would take, right? Drones aren't exactly quiet.
No, you probably hear them coming.
Oh, here comes the cigarettes.
Here they come.
But then the counter to that is to just drop it from super high up.
I suppose.
You just fly your drone extra high.
But I still think they're pretty audible. Like, you have to be a really long way up to not hear a drone.
Be quite fun if the prisons came equipped with like military grade jammers that they just turn on as soon as they hear it. It's like they just fall out of the sky. Turn on the jammer.
You see that? You see that thing where there was a Chinese drone show or something, and like half of them caught fire or something crazy.
No,
and sort of fell from the sky as like little fireballs.
Really?
Yeah.
Like just set fire mid-flight.
I don't know if they had like a battery issue or something, or they were carrying. Maybe they had a firework payload or something that they were going to fire at some point, and yeah, something went a bit wrong, and a whole bunch of them fell from the sky.
So many drones.
Yeah.
I saw the Russians have ones now in the war, which to avoid the jamming, they just have a really long fiber optic cable.
Oh,
but Ukraine did that first, didn't they?
Yeah, probably.
That was the ones they deployed for a truck had were cable powered as well.
Oh, really?
Why would they do that with a fiber optic cable though? Like, because surely that's really brittle or breakable.
Not as much as you would think, probably. I mean, we use fiber optic cables for fucking everything.
Sure, but they're usually static, right? They're not used in a sort of mobile situation.
Well, they're usually outside where they're blowing around in the wind, currently. Speaking of which...
I suppose that's true. I do have
random change of topic. Some more local news, I suppose.
I mean, I do have new fibre broadband here.
Wow.
Now, so yeah, that is from the poles. It's overground fibre, not underground fibre, which is I didn't realise it was a thing.
You're wombling free.
I am, yeah. I'm wombling mildly faster.
They finally decided to cut down all the trees surrounding the power cable that goes into town.
Oh,
after the number of times,
cable.
Yeah, the one cable that comes. Every time it gets even slightly windy or rainy. And I can hear the transformer blow out or whatever. Well, it's a switch, I imagine, a breaker on the actual power line.
So you can hear the breaker.
I can hear it break, like goes.
And when that happens, breaks, all the power goes.
All the power goes off, and then it inevitably tries to turn back on like 2 or 3 times because it's automatic or whatever before it like realizes it's an actual short. And then like a couple of hours later, there's people having to come out and cut down branches from the trees across the railway.
Yeah.
But now they basically apparently had enough of that because now they're just like, we're going to just destroy all of these trees.
Okay.
So they've been there for like the last week just cutting that whole place down, basically.
Okay.
I mean, that's not great.
No. Initially, the suspicion was that they were going to build a house over there, which also may still be true, which would also be bad and dumb. Don't build a house on that side of the railway, the flood side. Not that it's got flood, we're not that bad for floods around here, surprisingly.
No, I mean, it does flood a bit round here, but we're actually like more elevated than you'd think just here.
Yeah.
But so we're okay. But we'll survive.
Maybe. We're only the flattest part of the country in general.
Well, I mean, we're not going to survive deep impact, if that's what you mean. No, we're well boned.
Yeah.
Need to move to Scotland for that.
Is that going to help?
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
Generally higher, right?
Yeah, higher elevation. All right, you just go north. Yeah, it'll be higher elevation. Yeah, that's how it works.
Up is up.
I mean...
kind of, in this country, coincidentally.
Yeah. Well, at least you've got constant power and a bit of fibre.
Maybe constant power. We'll see. Fibre. Maybe this won't solve the problem.
No, well, maybe not.
Maybe it will turn out that wasn't the problem all along.
I mean, it's interesting, but I don't think when you have a power cut, it's the same as when I have a power cut. I think we're subtly different.
We're on the other side of that breaker, basically. Like, the power line must go under the railway there, basically.
But it always really confuses Gnome just how many power cuts we do get here. Like, it's way more than she's used to, and she used to live out in the middle of nowhere on the peninsula. And it's just like, oh, but there's no, like, why does it happen so often here? And it's like, it's just always happened so often here. for as long as I can remember. I remember when I was a kid, it just used to just sort of happen. It's just a thing.
It used to coincide with thunderstorms, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It's been different over the last, like, I don't know, 10 years or whatever, because it's like there was, you could tell that as they were starting to use the renewables more, that they were having, it's like load balancing, where like sometimes if they don't get it perfectly right, it like drops out for a second or two.
Right.
That kind of power cut rather than actual power cuts.
Yeah.
Like
I wonder if they still have to do the whole. I remember seeing a documentary on some of this stuff, like a million years ago now. I can't remember when.
The TV pickup thing.
Yeah, the it's the end of EastEnders thing, where it's like everyone's turning on their kettles and everyone's like, panic! Right, this is when we need to turn on the French connection, literally. So we're like drawing power from France to deal with the end of EastEnders.
That must be much less now.
I bet. Yeah,
I'm sure there are definitely peaks though when everyone's using Netflix or whatever.
Sport.
Well, yeah, because the US one is Super Bowl, right? Like everyone tunes in and out for bits of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And like when the halftime show's on or something, that's when everyone goes and makes food or something. And
And what turns on all the ovens?
Turns on all their stuff, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
Because we've got those crazy pump power plants, right, where it pumps all the water up to a reservoir up the
We've got,
hill.
like, one of those.
Oh no, end of EastEnders, quick, flush all the water down the hydro. Yeah, I guess there's only one of those. But yeah, it must be a lot more harder to balance when you've got like wind and solar and stuff.
Well, yeah, because I'm with Octopus for my electric, and like do you get the emails? Or maybe I don't know if it's a thing in London as much as it is here, but you get like the emails where it's like there's too much electricity in the pipes, so we're having a free electricity hour at this time of day.
No, I haven't got one of those.
Oh really? Yeah.
No.
So every now and then I get an email saying like, yeah, it's free electricity tomorrow between these 2 hours,
So
and it's
turn
like turn everything on. Yeah, I turn my car on. Yeah, I get 3 hours of charge.
Wow, that's
charge
crazy
for my car.
I don't get that. I only recently got a smart meter.
Right.
Thing. Finally,
I thought that was a requirement for Octopus.
No, it wasn't. I was doing normal meter readings before then. Yeah, exactly. So
that was one of the things. Like I've been dealing a lot with. I think we've talked about it briefly. But I'm dealing a lot with my mum and her house of late.
Yeah,
but she was one of these people that was just like, I don't really want them to fit a smart meter. I'm like, why? It's super easy for them to do, and it doesn't actually disadvantage you in any way. Just let them do it. Like, but I'll have to have a look at the thing. And the electrics in her place are awful, but still, it's like there's they don't have to come in. They just have to do some stuff on the box outside usually, and it's like it's fine.
It's fine when your box is outside.
Yeah, just let them do it. It's not a problem.
I had one problem with the little puck that you plug into the router or whatever that actually wirelessly talks the smart meter, which you can then use
the one
and stuff.
Oh,
so
right.
It's a little pink thing that comes with Octopus.
Yeah, we don't have that.
And the problem with that was my router was too fancy, and my router, like, you can connect to it and it automatically switches between 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. Whereas this thing could only handle 2.4.
2.4, yeah.
And so
a bunch of things don't like that.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to. That's why I run the 2 separate networks.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what I did with my router as well.
So I created a network in the router for it. Actually, the router had an option in the settings for creating a network specifically for Internet of Things devices, IoT network.
Interesting.
So I put it on that little IoT network. But that was it. Just was failed. It didn't tell you what was wrong.
Right.
It was just failing, and it was like, this is so annoying. But I managed to figure it out. What do you do, Zach?
Well, I have the double networks as well because my PC actually was having problems with the switching.
Right.
Or having, I guess if you have it on the same channel, then it can affect it rather than having two. Obviously, it can switch channel if it can't see the other channel because Windows will just handle that. But if it was one channel that was switching between the two different hertz or whatever, it's like, no, can't handle that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in Wi-Fi that actually can be detrimental, especially if you're worried about gaming latency and stuff like that. Can be quite detrimental to how things function.
Although, admittedly, that was on my previous PC, which had the problem of like my graphics card would overload the signal from the wireless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of these things are set up like that out of the box, which is annoying. So most people won't know that this is a thing.
That's the thing. Their router was set up that way, out the box, literally out the box.
There's that, and there's the whole Wi-Fi channel thing, right?
Yes.
Like the sub part of that problem,
which they're meant to automatically deal with. But
and to be fair, that's much less of a problem than the other thing. But like, yeah, I've had to lock my channels down here because the fact they try and figure out where there's the least channel. Competition, yeah, that's the word. And here's where the lowest spot is. I'm going to switch your network into the lowest competition zone.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like it, and of course, and then everything has to go. All your devices then have to go. What? What's happened?
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna have to pick up on that, and that can cause little issues here and there. And in my case, it was doing that really frequently.
You wouldn't have thought it'd be a problem, like in the middle of nowhere. Or not really in the middle of nowhere. Relatively in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, well, I think
How many networks can you see from your house?
I mean, I can find out, but
Probably at least
there's a few, yeah. I can... I think I set it up originally for where I was in the last house, right? There was a lot more contention there. And I've just kind of continued doing it because it was better.
Yeah.
But you can get little Wi-Fi analyzers for Android. Something that I don't think iPhones, the Apple ecosystem lets you do.
Probably not.
Is you can just scan the Wi-Fi and be like, oh, I can get a nice graph of where the hotspot, which channels are most in use near me.
Yeah, I just got a random open source PC program to do that.
Yeah.
So I just ran that. I was like, oh yeah, I can see it. Fix that. Where I am, because I'm right next to the railway, you can see the wireless on the trains as they go past for like a couple of seconds.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
What happens if they stop or break down? And you like
I've never noticed them actually. I think the only times I've ever noticed trains breaking down and stopping directly next to us, it's always been freight trains, not passenger trains.
Not passenger trains. Well.
Yeah, so the networks here are, as you can tell by this graph, super clean. There's me, the one peak on this graph, and occasionally you'll see a couple of other humps like either side of it of various Sky networks near me.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's a little bit of contention going on. Something's in my peak, but so I might need to figure that out. But
nice.
But you're so far apart as well. The houses here are far enough apart that you're always going to be the strongest signal. Whereas in like my house where it's semi-detached, it's like next doors could potentially override.
Yeah,
for strength.
The one that's downstairs from you.
Yeah.
And for some reason on the 5G band, I'm literally the only one it can see.
Well, it's because you're the only person who knows how to set up a router.
Yeah. There's this other unlabelled band right at the other end of the spectrum, but it's so far away from mine that it's like, not a problem. It's not going to be an issue. I don't know. I find that stuff mildly fun. Be like, I've got to pick my spot.
Yeah.
Well, it's always funny. It's always funny that, like, it's more that you imagine it's actually doing something than it probably actually is doing anything. Apart from the mode switching, which that obviously is. But like picking a band probably really doesn't do fucking anything at all. It's just nice psychologically to be like, I'm totally on this clean band. There could be no competition at all.
Exactly. And there's certain other like recommendations around with Wi-Fi channels as well, right? I forget what the interval is, but it's like you're not supposed to like pick between all of the possibilities because they overlap that little bit. So it's like you every 3 or something channels is a viable one to pick, because in theory it will be a nice clean segment with nothing overlapping between it. So theoretically, but yeah, I have fibre now. And I can't say I've really noticed much difference. I don't really push it hard enough here.
Yeah,
I
definitely don't use
I haven't downloaded anything massive recently. Well, that's the thing.
That'll be the time to see it.
When you're preloading TA6 or whatever.
I mean, well, yeah.
But it would have to be something where you could actually see the speed.
I mean, it was marginally faster uploading to YouTube, because I've had to do that several times because YouTube sucks recently. Did we talk about that last podcast? Like I don't
think so.
Yeah, how like you upload a video and then it just really screws up the processing on YouTube side, and I don't know why. And you just end up with horrible macro blocky videos. And then I discovered someone had found a trick where it's like you shave 1 frame off the start of the video using YouTube's own video editor, and then it reprocesses it, and that seems to do a good job. rather than a bad job. I don't know if it's like working off YouTube's proxy or original processed material and reprocesses it from that rather than from the source. I know they keep the source, but like, yeah, I don't know what it's doing differently, but that seemed to produce good results. So if you come across bad videos on the Happy Salad YouTube page,
I think
it just means I haven't noticed it.
Yeah.
It
means we don't watch our own shit.
I do watch most of them back like before I do the upload, but like it's just once it's uploaded, it's you sort of scan through it a bit, right, and be like, yep, that's cool, that's out in the wild. I'm not going to watch it again. I've already watched this many times lots of it many times during the edit. So it's...
And we don't even edit that much.
No.
No.
I mean, in fairness, I did have to do more work than usual on the Station Is one because I kind of ballsed up the audio a bit. So I've had to do more edits to... Oh, it was one of those ones where I was capturing the audio as well as the video feed. So like I'd got the source wrong on my side and I didn't notice it. So I've had to do some more filtering to make it sound a bit cleaner, but blah, 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 blah. That won't bother what YouTube does to it. Talking shop.
Hopefully promoting our YouTube channel again in the podcast, as we occasionally do.
Exactly. Good ones lately.
I'll tell you what else is balked. Playing back YouTube on a Steam Deck.
What happened?
This time?
It has a really fun little glitch, like, and that happens in both Chrome and Firefox in game mode on a Steam Deck. So,
game mode. So game mode of the Steam Deck.
instead of Steam Deck's desktop mode, right?
Right.
On desktop mode, everything's fine, I should point out. But when you're in Steam Deck's game mode, you can kind of tell it, so I've rigged it up because of ad block and stuff like that, to launch Chrome in game mode, full screen it, and automatically load the YouTube page, right? And then I've got a controller set up so I can navigate it through Steam input. And then, so if you play back a video in that particular circumstance, every now and then the YouTube video, like, if you think about the linear progression of frames as it's supposed to be, you'll end up with about, every now and then you'll have a second where that frame order seems to go horribly wrong. And like it's skipping all over the place within this like subset of frames.
What?
Yeah, it's really strange. The audio carries on normally, but the frame delivery for the video goes wrong.
It's so weird because it must be the browser video.
It's got to be the browser's playback something that just doesn't get on, and it must be something specific to the Steam Deck's game mode as well that is also not right because it's fine on the Steam Deck in desktop.
So weird.
So yeah, that's a fun one, and it does it on both Firefox and as well. Firefox, which I thought was like, oh, that's not a Chrome browser.
Yeah,
I think this should be different. Yeah, but it's not. It does the exact same thing.
Super weird.
But Firefox doesn't display properly in game mode anyway. I can't get it to full screen properly. It displays in a sort of 4x3 subset, which is weird. I don't quite know what it's doing there. So I tried Brave for the first time.
Oh, Brave of you.
I've loaded Brave onto the Steam Deck.
Presumably, isn't it?
I don't know what it's based on actually under the hood.
Everything is
Chromium. I would have thought
Microsoft
something like
Edge
that.
is Chromium.
Yeah, Edge is Chromium. But yeah, I tried that. And that mysteriously doesn't have the problem.
Weird.
So I don't understand what's going on.
Oh, well.
At least I've got a solution.
You got a solution.
Yeah.
She's Brave. Okay. Interesting.
But that was a bit of a faff, because I always watch my YouTube through my Steam Deck universally now. And the YouTube TV interface is nice, but it just doesn't show me as many cards at once as when you... Well, I suppose that varies. Sometimes when you see the actual website view, you just see more videos like on the screen at once.
Or do you any longer?
But yeah,
now
depends
we're all down to 3 per row.
Oh no, I went back to 4.
Oh.
I went back to 4 columns again randomly.
I don't know what mine's on the browser.
It's so random.
I use the smart TV app. And it works fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
It
crashes sometimes on my TV, but then it doesn't. It takes 2 seconds to restart it.
Yeah.
And usually it's remembered roughly where I was if I was in a long video as well.
Yeah.
But occasionally crashes. But
and you pay for YouTube Premium
I had the
Red
premium,
or whatever it is.
which are no adverts. And as I mentioned before, it has this weird new feature where I can like skip through
the sponsor sections.
Yeah. Well, it's not specifically the sponsor sections. It's just where everyone skips. It will skip through, which obviously lines up with the sponsor sections.
Yeah, that is quite fun.
It's quite a weird feature.
Did I talk about Sky Stream last week? I think I did, didn't I? Because I've moved to Sky Stream, and like skipping ads is something you pay for on Sky Stream.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, like traditionally in the Sky ecosystem, like you can skip wherever you want, right? Because it's just a stream of video. But because Sky Stream relies on third-party providers,
right?
It's essentially just running like the 4 app, right? The 4 on demand, whatever Channel 4's 4 on demand app for delivering that. Like it's got a version of it on Sky Stream rather than everything coming through Sky like it used to.
Right.
So they have had to implement their own form of ad skipping if you're paying for it with your Sky subscription, right? So different apps have a different implementation of how that works. And the Channel 4, like some of them just give you a pop-up that says, you can skip the ads. And you go, okay, I will do.
Kind of annoying if you're paying for it, even having to press a button.
Yeah, exactly. That is kind of irritating. But like, I guess they want you to sort of see them. But yeah, it's annoying that they're still there. But on the Channel 4 one, you actually do have to move through the ads to get to the end. But you can at least do it, which you can't do on the 4 TV app that I've got. I suppose unless you paid for Plus, I think it's called the 4 Plus, which is like a bit like the Amazon Prime thing, right? You spend another £4 a month or something to get no ads. Still annoyed that Amazon Prime put ads on their stuff, like on the tier everyone has.
I've got Now TV now or whatever, which is Sky, I guess, and I pay for the no ads or whatever. But like, they will still find some ways to annoy you. Like where there's an ad break, now there's like 2 seconds of showing the title card of the show or whatever. It's
right.
That 2 seconds? Why? I don't want to have to wait 2 seconds. And then,
I wonder if the stream is segmented at that point. It's
probably
having to swap.
Yeah, probably that's what it's doing. And also, like, there's just an unskippable trailer for something before the show starts.
Oh, really? Oh, that sucks.
Which is like...
That's an ad.
That's basically it. It is an ad.
Yeah.
It's just because you're advertising your own stuff doesn't mean... Like, I know the BBC iPlayer does that, but it has a skip button.
iPlayer does it and it's skippable. I think Netflix still doesn't, right? But,
no.
Disney does, I think, every now and then.
So annoying. I pay for this. It's like, why is the experience better when you pirate even when you're paying for it?
That's the thing that everyone
annoying.
seems to always forget about this thing, right? Like, people pirate when stuff is noticeably worse, and you've got to make your services convenient enough to circumvent that. And for a time, streaming has been that.
Spotify still is, for music, like more convenient than
100%
than pirating.
Yeah.
Without any annoyances.
Yeah, without a doubt. Like
I'm putting up the price.
Apart from putting up the price. But yeah, I have no qualms with how Spotify does their content delivery, at the very least.
They finally got lossless. Hooray.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Not that anyone could tell the difference.
But everyone else, like... I mean, that's always been a problem with Sky, if you think about it, right? It's like you have to pay for Sky, but all of the Sky channels have ads as well.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Yeah, it's old school.
It is old school.
I want to live an ad-free life. But now, all the everything will be just LLM responses full of trained to be full of ads. Sure.
As long as the only ad I don't mind is when Suntory whiskey turns up in the Like a Dragon games. It's fine. They're allowed to do that.
That's not an ad. That's product placement.
Yeah. Which is an ad.
Yeah, but it's not like an ad.
I think they're...
They don't take a break to do an advert in the middle of the game.
I mean, it's a pretty blatant, like...
Yes.
Because when you buy it, like, the bartender tells you about the... does the sales pitch for the whiskey.
That is kind of like
I would say their product placement in Lost in Translation is the greatest product placement in history.
Oh, sure. It's pretty good. Because it's actually
relaxing times.
Yeah, because it's fundamental to the plot.
It's fundamental to the plot. That's the only reason the plot is happening, is because he's doing an advert.
I mean, that's perfect. That is 100% acceptable. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have no beef with that. And the fact the real brands that turn up in the Yakuza game are they are more flavour and world building than anything else. They're not. They're there, but they're not like shoved in your face. Apart from the whiskey thing, the drinks thing is kind of odd. That is the outlier in Yakuza.
It's not that odd though for that kind of game where it's just like, you know, the whole thing is just like unnecessary detail. That's like that kind of game does that.
It's not it's not as egregious as what the Final Fantasy 15 cup noodles, right? That was pretty out there.
Well, but then that game was all about like look at the ridiculous food, and there was like, but it's also product placement now, so it still wasn't that ridiculous.
They had a whole side quest about cup noodles and vocals for it, saying like how Gladius was like so into cup noodles and how they were the best flavor, and like there was like, it was like. They went hard.
Can you get those noodles in the UK?
You can get cup noodles in the UK, yeah.
Of the brand that they're advertising. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's a sub brand of Nissin.
Right.
I think.
I always get those red ones, you know, that are like quite spicy. I can't remember the. Well, the pot is red. I just know it's not pot noodle. You know, it's an actual Japanese brand, but it is available in Tesco's.
It probably is a Nissin sub brand. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah. I think it is that brand. With a little packet of the powdered spicy stuff.
Yeah. Or sometimes the little extra oil pouch, like sesame oil stuff. Yeah. I can't remember. I don't know what the brand, what the packet is called, but it's a Nissin subsidiary again.
Yeah.
And they did their little ramen packs. Like,
I think that's what I get.
It's like, you know, they're more like a super noodle pack rather than a pot noodle. But like, those are really good. As far as packaged noodles go, like.
Okay. But this is the Saladcast. Why are we talking about noodles?
Not much salad in ramen.
I mean, you can
put it there yourself.
You can sort of make a noodle salad.
We should be talking about video games, but we kind of are.
Kind of are. I can segue into other not video game stuff.
Okay.
I watched a Disney animated film the other night with Milesy. One that I had, not Cars.
Finally.
I watched Strange World. Are you aware of that one?
Nope.
I don't know if it got a theatrical release. I think it might have just come to straight to Disney Plus kind of thing. I don't know when it released actually, but it's it's fairly recent.
Right, Disney.
Yeah, it is 100% average. Like it's like
okay, well that might be why.
Yeah, it just I don't know. I don't know if they I don't think they marketed it at all. I don't know. Like it's okay, but I basically cottoned on to its whole thing pretty early, like its whole twist. There is a twist. There's a sort of plot line, but it's far too it's readable, right? Yeah, you can just be like, oh, this is exactly where this is going to go.
Yeah.
This is exactly
predictable.
Yeah, super predictable. And one of the most annoying child characters I think in a long time. Not because they're annoying themselves, but like in terms of like, oh, this is a character that consistently makes poor decisions.
I mean,
and
that's not unique to children in fiction. Yeah, but
no, it's not. But like, I mean, it's a trope, right? Especially in Disney stuff, where it's like the kid just goes like runs away constantly, or like is angry for no reason, or just doesn't listen to the parents' advice for no reason. Like, and it just carries on like that, and yet there's no real. It bothers me that there's no bad ramifications to that repeatedly in films like this. It's like they've done a bad thing. They are chastised for doing the bad thing. But the story moves in a positive direction because of that action. And it's like, no, I don't know that that's a good lesson.
It doesn't sound right.
Especially as a dad myself now. There's a bit of me that's just like, I don't know, I like that.
No.
Luckily, so far, probably Miles is still not interpreting these things directly.
Oh, definitely not.
You can still get away with showing him bad lessons, and he won't learn anything from it.
He won't absorb them. Yeah.
Miles wasn't into it particularly either. I should say he got quite bored of it.
He only cares about cars.
Yeah, there's not many cars in this. Flying things. He is quite keen on flying things suddenly, but
flying cars
particularly. Yeah. And all rocket ships. He likes rocket ships.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? I hear I haven't watched it yet, but I hear One Punch Man season 3 is got a lot of problems. Like what looks like a severely budget cut production. Like the animation mistakes and just there's one scene that I noticed was doing the round where like one of the main antagonists is supposed to be sliding down a glass ridge, but like they didn't animate anything other than like just dragging a JPEG down a slope, pretty much. And it's and that could be really funny.
Yeah, sometimes you do that for comedy value.
Yeah, but I don't think that's how this landed. It's like, I don't know. I will probably get around to watching it, but nobody seems happy about how about the production behind One Punch season 3. Apart from, I think Baby Metal is on the theme tune now, so yay.
I mean, isn't this just, at this point, isn't that basically every season 3 of everything ever? We've reached the age where season 1 is the one where people are like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Season 2 is the one where it's like, it's good, and then season 3 falls apart.
Well, you see, I think One Punch Man season 1 is by far the best.
Sure. Like, I mean, it depends on what, like the prior, if it's like a manga or whatever. Like those generally have a better chance of having a good season 1.
Yeah, I think the problem season 2 has is it's now getting into like being a long story, right? Do you know what I mean? Where season 1 is kind of fun on its own.
Doctor Who did.
Yeah, maybe.
They've got an overarching story that completely fucks every episode because they keep trying to tie it back in.
I don't know. Doctor Who used to be good at that. Back in the Tennant days.
It used to be good for like one season, and then it reached its season 3 problem.
Yeah, I guess. Did that ever I never was a Doctor Who watcher, but even before David Tennant, what was it? Christopher Eccleston, they did have the Bad Wolf thing. It's like, did that ever pan out into anything?
Yes, it came back.
Yeah.
Like much later in the series, several times.
Right.
It
felt very kind of lost style.
And it might continue to be a thing, spoilers, with how that storyline ended up going.
Decades later.
Yeah, but that's everything in modern Doctor Who. They can't tie up any loose ends ever at any point. Everything always comes back.
Yeah.
Because it's time travel, conveniently.
I mean, I fell off during the Capaldi era. Yeah. That's when it stopped working for me at all.
Well, I finished watching the Alien TV show.
Oh, yeah.
It was the first season of that. I mean, I think it was kind of less than some of its parts, kind of. That definitely suffered from the horror trope of people making stupid decisions, where the plot wouldn't happen if people weren't idiots. But I guess that's a classic horror thing. Yeah. But it isn't still annoying.
It is still annoying. It's just when I don't like that feeling when you're shouting at the screen. Why did you do that?
No, you moron.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it definitely had amazing production design, like it looked like Alien, which is cool, and also was expanding the world because it's like, did we talk about it before? I don't think so.
I think we've briefly mentioned it, yeah.
But yeah, got through the end, and I was mostly I like Timothy Olyphant. Great performance as a synth. Amazing hair. It looks so cool. That was good.
Oliphant always struck me as one of those actors that got a slightly bum deal because he was in those Hitman films for so long.
Is that what he was doing on?
Yes, he was the Hitman.
He was Hitman.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
No hair.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know he
did. Apparently he was good as Agent 47, but like was somewhat let down by the rest of the film.
The rest of it. I mostly know him from Deadwood,
right?
Where he's playing like a more heroic, I guess, character, if there are any heroes in Deadwood. But obviously he's very ambiguous / villainous in Alien,
as the Simps always are.
Yeah, exactly. He's very much in the kind of spirit of like an Ash or. So that was good, and like I don't know if I told you about the premise, but there's more than one kind of monster that they expanded on. They've got the alien, but they've got other monsters, and one of them in particular is really cool, and which is like a little eyeball that has like multiple pupils.
Yes,
or
I think
something.
I've seen that. Yeah,
and it has little octopus legs, and it like replaces your eyeball and takes control of your.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It spends most of the show in a sheep. Like controlling a sheep, like replacing a sheep's eyeball, or whatever. But then it's like super intelligent, so that's the cool thing about it. So it's like, how's it going to escape? Who's it going to possess? What's it going to do? But yeah, they've mostly left
the traitors.
Yeah.
But
well, you can tell when someone's possessed by it. It's not like you can't tell because it's quite obvious. First of all, they've got like blood all over there where it's messed up their eye socket or whatever. But like it's bigger than the sheep's eye, so it's got one eye bigger than the other. So you can quite easily see that someone is possessed by it. But it's still, that was a very cool design. So it's like a alien that's a bit more methodical and sort of, rather than the alien that just goes at you,
kills.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, it had some cool themes. It was definitely very big on the kind of transhumanism theme. That was it seemed less interested in the alien, to be honest, which is a bit odd for an alien show. But
but that sort of makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Everyone's sort of too aware of what the alien is now. Like, what can you do interesting with it? Yeah.
I mean, the thing they did with it was make one of the transhuman characters be able to communicate with the alien. So that's kind of that's their interesting twist.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway,
spoilers, I suppose. Okay.
Not really.
That doesn't seem like a good idea at all, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's another classic case of like revealing too much of the monster. Now you can find out what the alien actually thinks. Don't want that. You just want it to be evil and scary.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, what about the character that can communicate with alien? What are they thinking? Because they don't tell you as the audience or whatever, or anyone else really. So it's all
just another layer of obfuscation.
That's true.
It's like, well, I guess that's the sort of problem Predator had until the end of Predator. Well, from the end of Predator 2 onwards, right? Like when they sort of revealed what the Predators kind of were and how their honor system kind of functioned.
Right. Yeah, revealing too much.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you don't need to know any more about them now. It's like, I guess they could turn up and kill some shit every now and then, but it's like, is there really more to know now? I don't know.
One thing that I don't think they had to explain this in the original Alien, but it would have been cool if something after that, like Aliens or Beyond, had tried to explain it, is for me, it's like, how does an alien go from the chestburster small alien to like really big?
Yeah, what's the growth? How
do they eat? Yeah. How do they grow? Yeah, I wish there was some cool lore where like they eat spaceship metal or something, or to get big, or something that would explain how it got from this big to like massive. Anyway, that's Alien Earth. Not sure if it. I presume they'll make more, so we'll see.
And then season 3 will be bad.
Yeah, probably. Maybe season 2 will be good, and season 3 will be bad. Yeah.
I hope season 3 of Denderden's all right, but that doesn't seem to be following, like, because it's like just an anime. Like, that doesn't seem to be following like proper season separations.
It's just arbitrarily
you know
split. Right? If it wasn't on Netflix, it would just be episode 100.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you know when like an anime changes its theme tune and end tune, right? Like they're using that as where like where the show splits as a season, and it's like, I guess that kind of makes sense, but it's like the especially the bit between season 1 and 2. You're in the middle of a damn storyline happening when season 1 ends. And it's like, it's a bit strange. So, and
it's not an intentional cliffhanger.
No, I don't think so.
For a season kind of ending.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. They're just kind of in the story. It's like, it's not like a dun 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 dramatic reveal. You'll have to wait until next time to find out what's going on. It's like no, stuff's, you're in the middle of like having a fight or something. And it's like, and done. It's like, that's no good. But that's just how anime works. They don't really follow the season pattern particularly. Video games.
What's going on in video games?
Oh boy! Right, shall we do some news? While we're arguing about tropes and stuff, I suppose it's like the transition and sci-fi. The transition to Halo might be a good idea.
Halo, with the Colonial Marines that were clearly based on the ones from Aliens.
I guess. I'd say they're a bit Starship Troopers the movie ish. The original Halo Marine design.
Maybe.
Just with a green eyepiece, right? That was the original Marines had like a little green eyepiece. But there's a remake and I use that term quite precisely, of Halo Combat Evolved coming, as everyone suspected.
As everyone basically guessed.
Yeah, in Unreal Engine 5, they've called it, like a first point of contention, Halo Campaign Evolved.
It's bad.
Yeah, I'm not super into the name. I know you can see the thought process behind it.
I know why they did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it
good.
No.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, this is probably the case, but also inherently implies there's not any multiplayer.
Which there isn't.
That's the reason.
Yeah.
That's the reason they named it that.
Yeah,
which is to make sure people understood that.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. There's no multiplayer component to this, apart from apparently up to 4-player co-op online.
So they say.
So they've said. Yeah, not split screen. They haven't said
Well,
anything about split
No,
screen.
there is.
screen as
There's
well,
split
yeah.
screen for 2 players on local.
Oh, cool.
Or
Yeah.
that, as I say, so they said. Because they've tried that before with the last 2 Halo games and then failed to do it.
Yeah, they promised that with Infinite. Because they didn't do it with Halo 5 and that pissed everyone off.
Yeah.
So they said, no, we'll do it for Infinite, and then didn't, which pissed everyone off. You know what? I will be pleasantly surprised if split screen co-op actually does make it into the final product.
Wasn't kind of the reason it didn't end up getting into Infinite because of the engine. And that was...
Yeah, that was they couldn't make it work with good enough performance or something.
Feel like, just from other games that have done Unreal Engine 5 stuff, that, like, I feel like Unreal Engine isn't great for split screen either. For some reason.
It's not a very modern concern, split screen.
Sure.
Like, engines just aren't designed for that in the way that they used to. And also, if you're maybe going down the rabbit hole of like modern rendering techniques and maybe ray tracing and stuff like that, it's like, okay, how much harder is it actually to maintain the world and the simplified, because you know how ray tracing works, right? They have the world and then they have the simple world that runs alongside it. It's a little bit like how Halo Anniversary worked, right? You have the original graphic set and the new graphic set running side by side, but ray tracing does the same thing. It has a simple graphic set running side by side, and that's the one that's actually producing the ray traced image, because it's easier to calculate. So if you're having to do that in split screen, that might be quite an ask.
Anyway, that's what I read. Oh, I think they said it. In an interview. But
there's been no real indication that they're doing much in the way of like proper ray tracing anyway from the visuals they've shown.
It'll have the whatever.
Yeah, and it's got global GI because you can tell because it's got the noise that global GI seems to have.
I don't think they're doing any path tracing or anything for sure.
No. I mean, you can very easily like the screen space reflection issues are apparent.
Yeah.
During that demo,
the trailer had like dramatic amounts of popping as well.
Yeah,
just in like the flight sequence coming onto the Silent Cadover or whatever. So I was like, look at all those trees popping in on the island.
Yeah, so it's taking a step back. The bit we've seen 13 minutes. People have had hands on with this thing, but all they've really been showing is the first 2/3 of Silent Cartographer, which is for most people the most iconic Halo map.
For sure.
I can see why they would want to do that. It's also potentially the one they've changed the least. Like, there are changes for sure in the footage they've shown from the original map and the original mission design. But, we'll come back to that point. Let's stick on the visuals because I think that leads into a bigger conversation to a degree. But yeah, the scale seems a little smaller. Right, like everything feels a bit more compressed compared to the original graphics or the original design. Like the layout of the map is mostly the same as far as I can tell. There's a few little differences, a few like lumps and bumps that weren't there before.
But it's just more environmental details.
Yeah, well, yeah, a bit more, and obviously the textures then obviously like correctly match to how that looks. It's perhaps a little less more of just a sandy beach than it was now, right?
It definitely looks like
the sand is quite short. Like,
the biome looks slightly different, but that's not necessarily bad.
I mean, the visuals looked fine, is what I mean. It's like I wouldn't say I was blown away by them, but
sure.
The complaint a lot of people are levying at them is it looks a little bit like your baby's first Unreal Engine game, like to an extent.
Well, that's what we've been saying about Unreal Engine games for the past 5 years at this point. Everyone moving to Unreal 4 and then to Unreal 5. It's like these just look like tech demos.
They look like Unreal Engine
but
games.
But it looked nowhere near as good as that crazy Witcher tech demo they showed in Unreal Engine 5, right, recently. Right. Which presumably is the people on the absolute top of their game with the engine.
Sure,
well, that was
and running
Epic,
running on high-end PCs, whereas Microsoft
yeah.
has an onus to perhaps show Series X. And I think that's where most people have been demoing this, is on Series X hardware.
Which is cool.
So yeah, that's what it makes sense for them. That will be what they show us, right? Something that perhaps the majority of or PlayStation 5 owners, when that eventually happens, because it's coming to PlayStation, for the first time. Most people are going to be playing on those machines. So yeah, show off what those machines can do. Maybe the PC version has a glow up that on top of what we've seen that will maybe fix some of those issues, maybe add some features. We don't really know at this point. They haven't really spoken about it too much. I don't know. It kind of looked fine. Like, I don't really have a problem with the tech per se. It looked fine, but I want to know how you feel about, especially you, Dan, how you feel about is it the spirit of the art of Halo?
Yeah, of course.
Because that was our biggest fault with Halo Anniversary.
I mean, Anniversary, it was definitely not right. I thought that Halo 2, whoever did that, did a real good job.
They did a very good job, yeah.
Who did that? That wasn't 343, was it?
It might have been 343, yeah.
Was it? I don't know. Because, whoever did that Anniversary screwed it up. Whoever did Halo 2, what's it called?
I think it's just called Halo 2 Anniversary, yeah.
Halo 2 Anniversary did a good job. This one, well, nitpicks, but like the biggest one is like the Forerunner architecture.
Yeah.
Which is like, and I gather this is kind of how it looks in Infinite and other 343 games.
Yes, that's what they're leaning into here. They're leaning into the modern look.
The modern look for but it's quite different from the OG Forerunner look because it's shiny stainless steel and it kind of looks like the Chrysler building or something. It's like, whereas it looked more kind of concrete. If you looked, and there's quite a lot of side by side where you can see these two, and it's like. And like it's not like the same shape, but with a different like material. It's like they've changed the aesthetic for Forerunner architecture, basically.
A lot of it is. I mean, I was kind of pleased that how much is the same. Like, okay, some textures are different here and there, but it feels like the textures, for patterns and things that are on Forerunner stuff, there was definitely more of a adherence, I think, to the patterns that the first version of the game used, the non-anniversary version of the game used.
I mean, it's clear that when the level developers were working on this, they had the reference on the other monitor. That's quite clear. But they're making conscious choices to change like aesthetics. But that one I don't like.
Right.
Also, like random stuff like the needler, like the needles in the gun aren't glowing properly or something. I don't know. Okay. They could probably fix that. But like certain things like that.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. They're not I think they're not as vibrant in the modern version of the needler like as they once were. Like
I think I looked,
and that might be a limitation of what the original engine did, right? Like they
maybe.
Like, and probably the same with the plasma shots and stuff as well. Like things orbit the plasma grenade explosion, right? They were pretty.
That changed a lot between Halo 1 and 2.
It really did, yeah, because they were very poofy in Halo 1.
Yeah.
But they, I don't know, there was a certain vibrancy to it that even between Halo 1 and Halo 2 that I think has diminished through the series.
Halo 2 was cool. I mean, Halo 2, I think, is generally accepted now to be worse looking than Halo 1. But those effects were better.
Right,
like the plasma grenades and stuff. That was definitely cooler. But so that, I don't know, it needles me a bit. Also, like...
Needles you.
Needles me!
So you're not at all bothered by the fact that some people brought up about the fact that the needler has an ammo read on the back of it
fine.
that shows you where the needles are that you can see on the top of the
I don't care about that. That's fine.
I mean, I kind of agree that it doesn't bother me, but I do find that kind of funny. It does seem completely pointless. It's like, I can see the needles in my gun.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't annoy me.
Arabic numbers.
No, it's literally a map of where the needles are on the gun. And so they're like the dots go out as the needles fire.
At least they didn't screw it up in that way.
Yeah.
For the assault rifle, they changed how much ammo's in the clip for some reason.
Yeah.
Which people are annoyed about. It's like 24 instead of 36 or something.
No, it's 32 now instead of like 60 or something.
Right, or something ridiculous.
The old assault rifle used to have a big clip and fire really fast.
Yeah.
And that, which didn't, in fairness, I kind of see why they did that, because it never matched the sound.
No, yeah.
The rate of fire of the original assault rifle never matched the audio.
I'm sure it's
associated with it.
That's fine.
Yeah, and I bet it actually doesn't change anything really. It's just not true to the original assault rifle.
Like, it's not quite. It's not matching the aesthetic in a way that. But I don't know if it's even possible to do or how you would quite do it. But they haven't quite got the knack of it. But that doesn't matter too much.
It's much closer than Anniversary Edition.
I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to remember what whoever it was did so well with Halo 2 Anniversary. But I think that has a different aesthetic because Delta Halo is quite different looking from Halo 04 or whatever, original Halo. But yeah, so cool. And then this game in general, it's like, we knew they were going to do this. It's literally the most conservative thing that they could possibly do. Someone high up said, just forget your own engine. Just remake the thing that everyone knows is already successful.
That everyone
exactly
likes.
As possible. Yeah. Use Unreal Engine and we'll put it on every platform so we can make as much money as possible. And it's like, do the most boring thing possible, basically.
Yeah. So
the only thing that would be more enthusiastic about it would be like if they actually get to do Halo 3 this time. Like, we've already remade 1 and 2.
Right.
Let's actually maybe get to 3 this time round.
I don't know if they'll go further than this one, to be honest.
No, I mean, I might have been more interested in them doing a Halo 3 anniversary than I am on this one. Sure. Partly because of what we've seen of Halo 1 is that I wanted it to be a reboot. I would have been way more interested in this if they had tried to actually, let's just restart Halo from the start and
that's
make
not conservative.
It's not.
That's not
it's
like
not. It is more
money.
risky. Yeah, and as we know, Microsoft are so risk averse.
They're doing the most conservative thing possible with the franchise,
and that, I find that a little bit boring.
It is boring.
Yeah.
It might work. I mean, there'll probably be a whole generation playing this for the first time.
I kind of want to play it, but like it's just. But that's what I mean. I kind of want to play it. I don't really want to play it, and it's.
I'd be more excited personally if I could play Master Chief Collection on my PS5 right now, which I can't.
Yeah, which they haven't. They didn't talk about. And
I don't know if they will.
I kind of thought we were going to get that announcement as well.
I thought it might be day in like a Shadow Drop. Or whatever
maybe
you call it.
I mean, maybe they will still do that. Maybe they'll be like, as it gets close to this coming out or something, they'll be like, Master Chief Collection's now on PS5.
Right.
While you get ready for.
Because I'm an old grump, I'm going to be more likely to actually replay the original on my PS5.
And why wouldn't you? It's a great game. Yeah. And Master Chief Collection is now a great product.
Yeah. Because it would have reach and stuff now, right?
It has reach. And, it has ODST.
Right.
That's a DLC.
ODST is a DLC. Yeah.
Okay, fine. But yeah, and so I was actually excited for them to shadow drop it so that I can play it that weekend. But no, nothing. No. But so there's that, and then there's what are they going to do with the Xbox, or what does this mean? The fact that they're big franchises.
I mean, they're now
cross-platform.
I believe they're now out of the big guns. Oh no, Gears still hasn't done the transition to PlayStation, right?
Oh, I thought it had.
Oh, did Reloaded come out on PlayStation? I don't know. But I thought that might be the only holdout left. But they're effectively, they don't care, right? They're running out of exclusives because they believe exclusives isn't the thing anymore. To which I don't think is at all true if they were going to stay in the traditional console space. But that then leads to the whole they're probably not going to be in the traditional console space for the next generation Xbox, right? If the rumors are to be believed, because the rumors for the next console is that it's going to be way closer to a PC.
Yeah.
Than, even though architecturally these things are pretty much kind of PCs, but like this thing is actually just going to be running Windows now. Like, not even this cut back Windows-esque operating system. No, it's just going to be Windows.
And this is kind of what I thought that they ought to do. So I'm kind of surprised that they're doing it, but in the sense. like the next Xbox should be a PC in the same sense that a Steam Deck is just a PC.
Right.
Although,
I think, I mean, they're... I personally, I don't necessarily have a problem with this philosophy. Like the drawback is a lot of people are now suspecting that the next gen console is going to be extraordinarily expensive.
PS5 is already expensive. Yeah, I mean, it's more expensive than it used to be for the same hardware. Yeah.
But the fact is that I don't necessarily have a problem with that concept. I think to a certain extent they've already cocked this up though because of the ROG Xbox Ally X,
which is their test for the concept.
But it's so underbaked. Yeah. Like for every report I've heard about that machine it's like you can see what they're thinking. They just haven't actually got it.
But is that
working
the
yet.
Point, right? Is that
I mean, that's no different from like the Steam Deck, right? When we had Steam machines and those were ass. But then they eventually evolved into the Steam Deck.
The thought process was there, and to the point where now like Steam OS and Proton and all that stuff is now mature enough to a point where they probably could and probably will, my prediction, pull off Steam machines again.
And if they do that, then it will be interesting because then you've got two boxes, Xboxes and Steam boxes, that are kind of competing in the same space. Yeah. One's Linux and SteamOS, and the other is actual Windows. But because that was the thing about the original Xbox, is like, how can we cut down Windows to make it lean and console-y? And if they did that again from the current whatever, then they've got the advantage, they've got the disadvantage of Windows isn't as lean as Linux or SteamOS, but they've got the advantage that they don't need the Proton translation layer because it's Windows. So that would be an interesting competition.
But there's the thing, like, okay, Proton translation in some elements is exceeding Windows' own compatibility with old stuff. Specifically older games, but even newer games. There are some things out there that have now been benchmarked, right, as running better under Linux in Proton than they do on Windows. Like which is ludicrous to think. Like, really, it's like how is that a thing? And it all comes down to like Windows's bloat, right? Generally, really, that's the thing. But that's what they're trying to fix with what they call Xbox Full Screen Experience, which is the thing that the ROG Ally, the Xbox ROG Ally, whatever that thing's called, is supposed to boot into. That is Windows without the fluff. So like, there's much less running under hood. It's not got full desktop there,
and that's not good enough yet.
Oh no, that at the moment that whole experience is buggy as hell.
Yeah.
And of course on the ROG, like, it has a problem with that. It has a competing issue with the Asus layer, right? The ROG stuff, the Armory crate stuff, and there's too many things going on, basically.
I feel like just because that's bad now doesn't mean it won't get good.
And I really hope it does.
They're deliberately testing on morons who are stupid enough to buy that ROG Ally thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, rather than... Because whereas Steam Deck... I know you were saying that Steam boxes were ass, they were, and stuff, but Steam Deck had to be pretty good out the gate, and it kind of was.
It was, yeah.
But because they're Valve, they probably spent years.
It's probably not been... The Steam OS and Steam Deck idea probably wasn't resting. You know, when Steam machines first happened, there was probably always a team looking at this,
probably,
and with just waiting
with their
for
weird
their moment.
Philosophy of like, work on what you like. If you work for Valve,
there was probably already always someone at Valve that was looking at it constly since then,
sure.
just waiting for the moment to strike. And
that has come to fruition. But I think it could well be. But that's why I've said this before when we're speculating before, I don't think it will happen. But that would be, if you really want to take on Nintendo and Sony, just to freaking deal with Valve. Make that two things into one thing.
Yeah.
If
I don't know that Valve would be interested.
I know.
I think Gabe would just be like, no, we don't want to work. We don't.
I think that's likely. But even if it doesn't, and we have this situation, if this thing comes off, you'll be able to, like... It will boot into this Xbox experience, but you'll be able to boot into Steam or whatever.
And I think the full screen Xbox experience, I think, has the ability to still load third party launchers as part, or what they're trying to do is make it so when you launch from the full screen Xbox experience that it goes through the other launcher, a little bit like how Steam does with EA launcher and Ubisoft launchers, right? To try and just
keep you in the
sidestep those, but like they know they have to run them up, but like they'll try and happen and get you to the game. And that's what they're trying to do at the moment, because then Xbox aren't going to win that fight, right? These other launchers are still going to want to be in the fray, so they've got to figure out a way to be compatible with them in a seamless console-like way.
Exactly.
And that is one hell of a challenge.
And that's, I guess, what they've got to do.
Maybe that's why maybe we need to try launching a Steam game through the Xbox app at the moment to see what they've managed so far on the Windows side.
So, yeah, I don't think we have any... On a PC or anything like that, I don't think you have any meaningful way of getting access to most of what the new experience is. Well, like, they haven't opened that up.
But they have updated the Xbox app with something so you could consider to be the tech.
It has some of that, right? Because the library crossover stuff is there.
But I've never launched a game for it to see how that actually functions.
No,
see how much Steam... If you close down Steam and then try to do that,
try to launch a Steam game.
Yeah,
what does it do?
Because what they'll want, Microsoft, is to make it easy enough for the average person to run
100%
a Sony Studios PC game on their Xbox, like a God of War.
Sure, yeah.
Without making it such that Sony would deny it because it looks too much like it's running in the Xbox.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Theoretically, that's exactly what this next console will do. It'll just run the Steam version of God of War.
And I'd be more interested in that than any other than a more typical Xbox, because I haven't had an Xbox since the 360, so I just get 2 generations of Xboxes. Whereas that would appeal to me,
which is fair because Microsoft have they've not been on top since the 360. I understand that viewpoint completely.
I mean, there's nothing. I think the Series X is good. It's just
it's a great bit of hardware.
So why would I bother with?
It's a great. Series X is a great piece of hardware, but I fully understand. Like, unless you were bought into Game Pass like I was, it seems I get it. I don't understand necessarily why you would go Xbox unless you were intending to go Game Pass.
Whereas if this thing is a PC, I can play Halo or whatever. I can play Deus Ex on the thing. I mean, whatever I like, right?
Well,
like a Steam Deck.
Assuming the Windows compatibility is good enough.
I'm sure people will make it work.
Here's the thing. I learned this, I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, that Proton for Windows is kind of a thing people are looking at, right? Because Windows is so bad now, or pretty bad at emulating stuff, especially from that sort of era where 16-bit transitioned to 32-bit and that kind of period of time, that hey, we'll just make Proton work on Windows because it's able to work on Linux to do that stuff, so we'll just do it. So yeah, Proton for Windows might be a thing.
It'd be so if you could get anything like the cool emulator launchers that you get on Steam Deck, but on a powerful console that you plug into your TV.
Man,
that'd be well cool.
I mean, Steam themselves do have a lot of work to do. Steam OS is bug, and the big picture mode is buggy in quite a lot of ways.
That would be an impetus for them to improve
for Microsoft, because I think this whole conversation about how well Steam OS has gone, how well Proton has gone, how things on Proton frequently run better than they do on Windows. Not always. There is some stuff that just can't run on Proton, especially some of the more modern stuff, but I think it's got them worried, right? Because this is a genuine threat to the Windows ecosystem in terms of gaming. Mm-hmm. And possibly the first time that's actually happened.
Which was what Gabe always wanted.
It's what Gabe always wanted, yeah. It's the first, so them embracing it and trying to come up with a competitor to it totally makes sense, but in order to do it, it feels like, especially with Xbox's cut resources and lack of focus from Microsoft as a parent company.
That's fine. They got AI now. They can rewrite the whole thing in 2 days.
Someone will spin that yarn somewhere.
Bullshit.
They're going to have to do it at the cost of their traditional console business.
That's basically pronounced dead as of Halo announcing for PS5.
Kinda, yeah, and it makes me sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, the Xbox of old was special.
And competition is good.
And honestly, when they introduced Game Pass, it's like it felt like they were onto something, and it's like, hey, okay, but they just through horrible management, and I really don't know where the buck stops anymore at Xbox or at Microsoft in general. Like, none of that has ever really come to fruition. It's like, I like Phil Spencer, as I think he's been very honest and upfront normally about his thoughts on the industry and stuff like that. So I'm inclined to believe that his heart has always been in the right place, and that Microsoft proper has consistently overruled his vision. That is how I feel about it. I have no idea whether that's true or not. All the messaging we've been getting recently feels like it's come from Microsoft higher, like not from Xbox. It feels like it's all been driven. And you know, the recent comments from Satya Nadella and the requirement, this is news as well, that Xbox now has to make 30% profit at a minimum. Like,
yeah.
Like, yeah, they're hamstrung. Like, Xbox division can't do what they want, and maybe that's been true for a very long time. Maybe Activision was an act of defiance. Like, well, if we can't do what we want, we'll just spend all our money.
Yeah,
like on Activision.
Xbox is dead, but Microsoft are the biggest publisher in the world.
Yeah, it's so weird. They don't care about games. They don't. Not anymore. And it bums me out.
R.I.P. Xbox.
Yeah. I'm increasingly feeling that these days. Yeah, almost everything they say just pushes it one further step, despite the smiley faces. And I've never liked Sarah Bond. I'll be honest. Like, she always comes across as like, yeah, she's just a marketing bullshitter. Like,
well, that's what they get paid for.
Yeah.
Ba 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 ba. I don't like the extra stupid them flying through the canyons and all that shit at the start of Silent.
I don't mind that. I think it's fine.
Why is he like? There's a bit where there's a shot where Master Chief is in the back of the ship, and like the whole thing is like banking like massively.
And all the Marines
are like this, and he just doesn't even. I guess he's just locked. His arm is locked because he just doesn't move at all. It looks
maybe that's
weird.
Canonical. Yeah, he's just activated armor lock.
And he's just like this. It looks so weird.
Yeah.
It was cool to see Faux Hammer though.
Yeah,
that was quite fun.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of tweets about people. How are they going to address that moment in the last mission where there's the gap in the ship apart from the bridges?
Giant gap in the ship. Yeah.
So how are they going to fix that? There is one detail we haven't talked about that is genuinely interesting, and that is that they are adding stuff. Like, there is additional
levels,
additional missions in there.
Prequel.
Kind of prequel-y sort of thing. Which I'm not 100% that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, where's that going to fit?
Because Reach leads directly into that, and Master Chief's already in stasis at that point, right?
So it must be before that, canonically.
Unless you play like some kind of mission on Reach as part of the crew of the Autumn before it takes off.
Maybe. But then maybe Master Chief was active on Reach just to do something there. Like, I don't know. Because we don't really... I've never read the greater lore of Halo.
The actual
or
story.
Like that. Yeah, like what actually happens before Master Chief is in stasis. Like, why was he even put into stasis, right? Like, or any of that. Maybe it's trying to address that, which could be kind of interesting.
Or what if it's something really ridiculous?
But then why not just make a game out of that, right? Why not make a new game about what Master Chief was like pre-Cortana?
What if they do the stupid thing where they make it like an extreme like intro where it's like, this is Master Chief's first mission and you're going to just do a little bit of random bullshit fighting that's not related to the story in any way. It's just like, this is the tutorial mission where you just run around and shoot some guys for a bit and then you walk forward 20 years to the actual game.
I don't know the lore, but like, was he ever? Presumably, he wasn't immediately Master Chief, right? Maybe he had.
I don't know what the ranking of Spartans works like, where he just automatically starts at Master Chief or something.
Because he was the one. Maybe he was the first actual viable Spartan. I don't know.
Well, he definitely wasn't the first actual viable Spartan, right? Because he's like Generation 2 anyway, right?
But maybe Gen 1 wasn't
Johnson
viable.
Is like before him, right? He was the earlier version of the Spartan program.
Johnson was.
Yeah, because he mentions it at the start of Halo 2 or whatever, right? Where in the elevator, where it's like Johnson says that his implants or whatever something like that. Anyway, he is technically
that could be
part of the
different,
Spartan
though.
program.
That could be different. Maybe they just got maybe soldiers just get implants in this world, like in the UNSC. I don't know.
But I thought the law was that the Spartan program was to make the super soldiers to fight like human rebels or insurgents or something before the Covenant were discovered. Or, I don't know. But obviously, there's a whole squad of Spartans on Reach that you play as in that game. Like, yeah.
And they're like Generation 4 or something, right? I forget, because they're like newer than Master Chief.
Oh, they're fancier than Master Chief, are they? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was, if we're getting deep here, that was another thing everyone picked up on. It's like Master Chief's armor's wrong.
It's better than it was in freaking Halo 4 or something.
But that's what I mean. It's the wrong version of the armor. It's not the Mark whatever it was that he wore.
Not before it gets replaced in Halo 2 at the start of Halo 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But is it a specific armor we've seen before, or is it a new one?
No, I think it's more like the current, like the Infinite armor,
which itself was a throwback armor, right? Because people haven't liked the changes.
But like
whatever.
But they explained that in Infinite.
No, I don't think they did.
No,
they just totally hand waved.
But then there's such a time jump there between like Halo 5 and Infinite that it's like. Because we never get to see the interesting bit, personally. It's like, what if they went back and made Halo 6? Like, and actually filled in what the hell happened in between the two games? Like,
I don't think... Yeah, Microsoft aren't going to let them have anything to do with their current storyline. Reboot, reset everything.
Man.
Make the safe money.
I mean, maybe Silent Cartographer has been like, this is the safe sell, but like maybe there is more stuff in the game that has changed. But the fact that they're using all of the original audio and follow the same story beats, like I'm not convinced there's many changes at all.
No, I reckon they'll try and keep it as close as they can.
Other than the, I've forgotten the name of them. Not the grunts, the orange worm guys. What are they actually called? Hunters. Yes, thank you. They're bullet sponges now. You can't like magnum shot them in the back in the way that you used to, and everyone's pissed off about that. Like,
right, but that changed in Halo 2, like, or something, didn't it?
Or, that was because the magnum changed rather than the hunters.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They became harder in Halo 2 for sure, and they've become increasingly more difficult over the series.
Yeah, sure. They were supposed to be threatening. It's kind of a mess up that you can kill them instantly.
Yeah, but it was cool.
Yeah,
like,
it was cool.
Outsmarting them, getting behind them, and just one-shotting them felt real nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
I mean, they should have upgraded that idea instead, because the hunters are like, a big pile of worms, basically.
Yeah.
They should have made the one shot be in a different position on every hunter. So it's not just like in the back, you have to find the one specific exposed part of them that is the actual weak point.
Who's like the daddy worm.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be... There's too good original ideas, Act. That's not allowed. Microsoft.
No.
Satya Nadella's going to tell you, no original ideas. Not allowed.
Yeah. I think they're doing a better job than they did 11 odd years ago, or however long it was. Probably longer than that, when Anniversary came out.
But at least in Anniversary, you could just turn off the new
15
graphics,
years
so
ago,
you could just play the actual game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Halo. Halo has kind of, I think, always been indicative of the state at Microsoft to an extent.
I really hope they put out Master Chief Collection on PS5. I want to play Halo 3 on PS5.
I'd be so surprised if they didn't. I mean, I bet it's a bit of work.
Well, they should do it.
But they should do it, yeah.
But no word on that, so...
No.
What else is going on?
What else is going on? Not a huge amount, really. That kind of dominated a lot of the news.
Huge amount.
One single huge amount. Oh, well, yeah, I suppose. Let's just jump to Curvy Air Riders, shall we? Because we got the second of 2 hour-and-a-half directs from Sakurai purely on this game.
It was funny because I was looking for it on YouTube because as usual, I didn't realise it had happened until it happened, and I was like, I better go and watch that. So I looked it up on YouTube and I saw the thumbnail and like the time of the video, and it's like, it's an hour and some number of minutes. And I was like, holy shit, is it real? It seems really long. But then I was like, oh wait, it's a Nintendo stream. They always start with like half an hour of waiting and then 50 minutes at the end of a blank screen. But no, this is the actual length.
Wow,
not this time. Yeah.
It was actually literally just an hour of him talking.
For a game where it's like there's basically one level that everyone cares about, right? There's a lot of talking to be done.
They're so watchable though. Sakurai just makes it like you just can't help yourself. You just keep going.
So what was I haven't seen this one. There was a great moment in the first one where he's like, unfortunately, we had to add a second button or something. And he's like, oh, so Dozzo, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty great. Well, actually, just how they opened the first Direct was pretty great. It's like, so isn't it just Mario Kart that you're making?
Well, that was the other thing about this time, where like the more they've talked about this game and the more it's like, more content and more like mechanics, well, not really, somewhat, but like the more times they show this and the more times it kind of just like shits on Mario Kart comparatively, the more I'm being convinced that of the conspiracy theory that this is just Nintendo bribing Sakurai to make another Smash Bros. They're letting him make this game so he'll actually stay and do another Smash Bros. Even though he probably doesn't want to.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because why else would you make a competing game to your launch title that makes your launch title look shitty?
But I don't think
it does. Like, does it?
I don't think it's quite as bad. Like, yes, I've seen that sentiment all over the internet, like, since this thing. But like, I'm not sure I'm fully on board with that theory. Like,
I mean, it's not like
it's not as okay. I don't think it's not really the same thing as Mario Kart at all. Like, it hasn't got as much core content as Mario Kart World does, but there's a whole swath of options around it.
Well, it's the options that the actual thing. It's like this is
the Sakurai style meleeness is just all over this thing,
and it lets you do things that you functionally want to be able to do. Like, it has a lobby system, whereas Mario Kart World has an ass lobby system that doesn't really work.
Yes, it doesn't work. Yeah, Mario Kart Online is kind of... unless you want to just do straight up races, right?
Like, then it mostly works.
And then, it's all right for that, but for anything else, it's busted.
But yeah, it's that kind of thing. It's not like the actual content, really. It's a racing game, so there is some comparison, and but
the game is completely different from Mario Kart.
Sakurai is, an actual game developer person, and he's like, I'm going to put accessibility options in a Nintendo game, or even just a music volume slider. Jesus Christ!
Is done, which is there, and the music player. Like, I'm still like really confused as to why Mario Kart World just doesn't have a way of playing its, in fairness, brilliant soundtrack.
Yes.
Like, why is that hidden from you?
And theoretically, even the way to do, you might think it's the Nintendo Music app, but no, not even that.
No, not even that, yeah. I mean, eventually that'll come, surely.
Maybe. But now there can be Air Riders music on there instead.
Oh, no, they've put the music from the original Air Ride on it. I don't think they've put Air Riders on there.
Although technically that music is in Air Riders, because they're putting the old levels in.
All of the old... Yeah, so this is... I guess we from the first Direct, it kind of looked like, is there only 5 tracks in this thing? That's incredibly disappointing. And I still think it's a little bit disappointing that now we know that there's 9 new tracks, I should say, in the game. That still feels a little slight, maybe, for a racing game in the modern age.
Yeah.
That's a bit slim. But they did then go on to be like, yeah, but all the original 9 are there as well. And we've revamped them, so they look nice. We've... And I guess they can do that, right? Because it's like, no, the original Air Ride didn't sell that well, so it's like,
and no one wanted to play the air riding part anyway.
No, because everyone loves City Trial, which I'm still mildly surprised. I mean, City Trial does seem cool, but it just still feels like you probably should have had more than one map. You probably should have had more than this map. Maybe should have been bigger. And like when they showed the stuff of like, oh, you can just if you max out your flight stat, you can really just fly for a really long way to like maybe nowhere, and then but except there's that one place that is a long way away, and you could potentially fly there, and then you get there, or it looks like from afar, like when you get to these like special locations. What are you doing there? Like, there's nothing there.
Well, there's some power-ups, but the trouble with that is, like, you've spent.
But that's the same as everywhere else.
Why would you so much time flying there? That
why would you do it? Yeah.
Unless there's a lot of power-ups.
Yeah.
Unless it balances it out. And I guess you're not competing for power-ups.
But then you've got to have
over there.
But then you've got to have like max flight to get there, like to an extent.
Well, it depends what max flight actually means.
Yeah.
It could just be any flying vehicle could do it from the start.
Maybe. But the special vehicle we know does.
Sure. You don't even really know what happens if you fall off that map.
No, true.
What if you try and fly there and don't make it?
Huh, yeah. But we also know that Top Ride is back. They were like, Sakurai in his normal style was like, we didn't really like everyone's been asking me about Top Ride, and it's like it was going to be a lot of work to do.
So we did it.
Yeah.
Classic.
Which was pretty funny. And he made it like when you were talking about the lobbies earlier, like he was talking about it's like it was a lot of work actually to come up with like running animation and walking animations for everyone, because it's like in the game proper, like no one walks or runs or anything. Except they do for city trials.
I don't know why he brought that up. Like, he was like, we had to make all these animations which already existed because you did it for City Trial.
Yeah.
Like, I guess you had to make those animations at some point, but not because of the lobbies.
But they're incredibly brief in City Trial, right? Because you don't really run for very long that.
Depends. You could, but you don't want to, obviously.
Yeah. Some slight oddities to it, but
that could well just be translation for all we know.
Maybe, yeah. but you're right about like the depth of options to it looks extensive. It's like just like Smash Bros, you can change pretty much everything and customize how you want to play that game. I love the fact that he went into the detail of being like, if you don't like where the camera is positioned, like the chase cam, like move it. There's an option to do that. Move it where you want it.
Well,
like
it's an FOV slider, I guess.
It was a bit more now, wasn't it? You could actually sort of somewhat position it, like raise the height and stuff.
I don't know, because that's in the accessibility options.
Yeah,
like,
did I overread that? Or?
He didn't really show every one of those options. He just did like the presets essentially. You didn't see the whole scroll of that page basically. Right.
It's still so cool. It's so cool an idea though. Like it's like.
Well, yes, actual options in a video game is an unusual concept for Nintendo.
I don't know. I might be back in. Is what I mean. Like now we know the size of the game, and like I'm a sucker for Sakurai style.
Yep,
completely.
Just want that checkerboard to unlock shit.
Yeah, man.
That's totally something that Smash Brothers did and was great.
Well, Air did it first.
Well, sure.
Apparently, like they made a big deal of it. It's like that whole unlock system, that whole the challenge system, I guess. They like debuted in Air Ride, and then they brought it into Brawl.
Yeah.
I might be back in. This game looks good. It looks fun.
Yeah.
Like more than anything else, it just looks fun. Kirby Air Riders might be peak for
might be game of the year.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, we're getting close. What is the current game of the year situation looking like?
Well, I mean, for me, Clair Obscur.
Sure,
isn't it?
Easily.
That makes sense.
But a bunch of people are I don't know, referencing other people's opinions, but I know Giant Bomb was thinking Clair Obscur until Bonanza came out, and then that might have won them over.
I feel like Bonanza, because I played it, obviously, I feel like Bonanza is quite forgettable.
Well, because you finished it so quickly.
Sure, but that's because it's easy to just play through. You just go.
You just do it.
But yeah, I don't know, like... If Metroid even manages to come out, which it's still meant to do, is there going to be enough time to review it for Game of the Year?
Probably not.
No.
It's in that risky zone.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope they give out early codes. They might do that.
Well, the thing is, on our fantasy league that we reference occasionally, it already has pre-score. Like someone has
played it. Oh, weird. That can't be right.
No,
I wouldn't have thought so. But apparently, according to that website,
that's incredibly early.
And it looks like it's reasonably good, judging by that score.
Oh, yeah, damn.
But you'd better hope so.
Damn well better be.
And are we going to get a direct for it before it comes out at this point?
I bet not.
But how else does Nintendo market things?
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's going to come out completely flat if they don't do something.
I think we'll get there'll obviously be a launch trailer. They'll definitely do some other bit of media to go out with it.
Nintendo trailers are nothing most of the time.
Nintendo trailers do genuinely kind of suck most of the time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see them doing a direct on it. I think they want to leave it. Well, I kind of agree with it because I want it to be a bit mysterious and just go into it blind. But I know what that game is, right? Or to an extent, we know what Metroid Prime is. It's like, is it well known enough for the rest of the world to know what Metroid Prime is and then make them buy it? I don't know. And probably not.
It is kind of the third actual Nintendo game on the Switch too at this point.
Sure, yeah, the first, in-house, I guess. When's that Mario Tennis coming out? Is that next year?
Well, yeah, presumably. Yeah. Nothing else is going to come out this year for Nintendo.
Well, unless
fireworks are started up.
Yeah, there's some fireworks. Unless you count Hyrule Warriors, I suppose. But
technically Nintendo, I suppose. Technically, but not really.
But not really, because it's Koei attack mode.
But that's no different from Air Riders, because that's Bandai Namco.
Kinda, yeah.
Or Pokemon.
It's Sora.
Obviously, that's Pokemon.
Sora with help from Namco. Yeah.
But yeah, that's Air Riders is all well and good, but Metroid Prime was meant to kind of be the big last game of the year for Nintendo. And
given it's coming out early December, chronologically is.
Well, yeah, but they don't seem to be making a big deal of it. Is the thing.
Not yet. I reckon. Maybe November they might start a push for it.
Anyway, Air Riders, I guess.
Air Riders.
Was there anything else to say about that?
No, I mean it just looks rad. I'm still a bit bummed. I'm not sure it's again. My head doesn't see how Nintendo's pricing works for that game.
No,
but it does look rad. And there's just a lot to experiment with and a lot to play with. And if you've got that sort of mindset, this game is going to be really for you. If you're not that like experimental type, where it's just like you find something that works for you and you stick to it, maybe this isn't going to be for you. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because obviously there are some of the machines have different mechanics, full different mechanics, but it's
wildly different mechanics.
It's hard to tell exactly how different that's going to feel.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have different turning mechanics, but then what about just like riding around in general? Is it going to make it that much different? And then how do the riders stack on top of that? Do the specials actually matter? That kind of thing. There's no way to tell that really just from watching it. There
is one thing I remember that I think I'm mildly disappointed by, and I think I spoke to you about this last week, Zach, and that's they have a time trial mode, and it doesn't have online leaderboards, which I'm not super bothered about. That I don't. Unless you're like really the best of the best, do you really care about the global leaderboards? No, not particularly. But the fact that there's no ability to, like Mario Kart, like easily compare that time with friends.
Yeah,
that's all I want. I just want to see I think I've said this several times. I want to rekindle some of that magic of early Xbox Live, where you're seeing a lot of people play Project Gotham 2, for instance, and you see someone's beaten your time on a specific challenge, like, well, I'm going to sort that out. Like, I want the friends-focused time trial to be a thing. I really want that. And Nintendo seem to be going out of their way to just, like, not do that, not touch it.
It feels more like a mistake in Mario Kart, but in Air Riders, it seems like for some reason Sakurai is we know Rai because he's always been like this, but Sakurai is like the least competitive gamer person ever. Like even though he made Smash Brothers, which is a fighting game, but he hates that it's competitive.
And he's an incredibly skilled player. Yeah, he is all about the fun. That is his thing.
So he doesn't want online leaderboards for time trials, and he doesn't want your ranking to be a number. He wants it to be a random symbol so you can't so easily compare to each other.
But there is ranking, right? The online play is ranked.
Sure, but in what order do those symbols come in? Unless you actually pay attention, you'll never know.
Yeah. I mean, Mario Kart, in some ways, you might argue, actually does a better job because it just obfuscates your rank completely.
Except for the giant number.
Apart from the number, yeah. Yeah, I take that back. I've forgotten about the number until you said that. Like, I thought the only clue was that it was matching you into 150cc races, right? But no, you're right. There's the big old chess-style skill number.
Yes, that goes up and down as you win and lose. Yeah. And it actually tells you how much it went up and down even.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I take it back.
Although in Sakurai's case, he's yet again randomly implemented global wind power, like from Smash Brothers, where it's like that's even less meaningful than the actual rank. At least,
wind power.
That's stupid. It's like it just counts how many wins you've had and ranks you by the total number of everyone playing. Which is like, if you won once, you're higher up than someone who's won 0. And it's like, that it doesn't mean anything at all. It's just a completely arbitrary number.
I see.
It's not actually skill-based. It's literally just grind.
I mean, that was the only reason I was high on the Carcassonne leaderboards back in the day.
Did you play that?
Because I played it so much.
Yeah. But yes, that was the same as... Well, actually, I guess the Smash one did have some element of skill to it, I think. I was never fully clear about how that worked in Smash, but this one is even less so. And then the rank is obscured by just being a symbol, so... Yes, it's a classic Sakurai move.
But that's just
he hates competitive games,
but that's just
even though he keeps making them.
Instantly decodable, right? There's no...
Sure, but you would have to
that.
look it up. Like, it's not going to tell you in the game that, like, red is better than orange.
Yeah. Those amiibos look pretty sweet, though.
Yeah. Extremely expensive, obviously.
Yeah, extremely, because they're the first ones that had detachable. Like, the rider can come off the craft and be swapped around. And it's Starlink, baby.
Yeah.
And you can make them into a figure player again, because that's another Sakurai classic.
But like that, yeah. I mean, although I messed around with that a bit, I think on Smash Bros. For Wii U, it's completely pointless.
But you can train them to be so hardcore. You can train them to be better than level 9 CPUs.
Yeah, they can be very good. Yeah. Anyway, that's Riders. Anything else here? Oh yeah, the Pokemon patent for
one of them
for throwing stuff to capture and or affect monsters has been rejected.
But
which is the correct decision.
We're not entirely clear about how exactly that, like, which part of that, because it's a sub-pattern on this other patent, and that's how you try and sneak things through the patent system, supposedly. Like, you update old patents with just, like, a sub-patent.
With a child, yeah.
But, some part of it has been denied, but there are also these other parts, but it doesn't look good for Nintendo at the moment.
Yeah, I had a quick look, but I couldn't find what the parent patent was, because it's like
it's a patent, which means they're impossible to read.
Yeah, but the child patent at least does mention the mechanic that Palworld removed, right? Which is the throwing a Pokeball to capture a monster, essentially.
Yeah, that's the thing that I like. I don't know if it's... Well, because Palworld didn't exactly remove that part. It was like the summoning part of the process, right? Because it was like, now you just spawn them next to you rather than throwing the ball out to make them.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Right, so maybe Palworld understood that was that part was in contention, but the releasing part is...
Yeah, because then it was like you summon them by throwing the ball out, and then the riding patterns was another thing.
Which is even dumber.
Yeah. So... Nintendo
surely they'll just be like, hey, have you ever ridden a horse? That's the same fucking deal. Like, that's all.
You would think that was how patents work, but that's not how patents work, because it's got to be specific to the area you're working in. If no one has patented riding a horse in a video game, then you don't get that patent.
No, but then they say prior work will be like, but that's how this one got rejected.
Yes.
Like other things were like Monster Hunter and Pocket Pair's previous game was mentioned in the ruling, which is hilarious. It's like prior games to your patent, which was based on Arceus in this case.
Yeah.
Do this. Like, no, you cannot patent this. It's like this prior work exists.
But that should have been the case for all of them.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's some argument to be had about the ones Nintendo made for Tears in the Kingdom, right? Because they were a little bit controversial as well. There's some argument for how, like, Link's physics whilst riding objects was kind of unique, potentially. Like, I doubt that a little bit, but I can see why Nintendo might try to say that was new. There must have been games where it's like, if you're riding something, like the physics are not doing the thing that video games tend to do, right? Where they just like, we'll change the physics so it's relative, right? That's how they usually do riding or standing on items. And Nintendo like, no, that's not how we do it. We do it properly, and we'll patent that. There is some... there may be some, way you can believe that is that's a genuine patent, or could potentially pass it. I hate it that it might, but I can believe why that might get through. These, nah, no fucking chance. Nonsense.
But, you know, is this lawsuit even going anywhere? Is it going to get resolved before Power World actually comes out?
What, before it goes version 1? Yeah. I mean, as far as legally, like, that doesn't matter, right? It's like early access is out as far it's a product. Like
in the modern version of out doesn't mean anything. It's
No.
just like you slap up version 1.0 on a thing and then that's it. You just call it that and it doesn't make any difference to the actual development of the game. As has been evidenced by many other early access titles, like 7 Days to Die and stuff. Or Terraria or Stardew. Games that won't fucking stop updating.
right.
Why did Power World even bother to go 1.0? Like, what
Well,
are they saying?
Because you can use it as a marketing tool.
At this point, they probably just want another burst of sales. And also, kind of, there's an element of, like, they kind of failed to 1.0 all their other games at this point.
Oh, really?
They keep making games and not finishing them. It's that kind of situation. So it's like, maybe this time we can say we finished it for real. Even though we'll probably still keep working on it afterwards anyway.
I mean, the advantage of going 1.0 is that, like, it gives you the flexibility, actually, of then being able to say, no, we're not actually going to work on this anymore. We're going to work on something else.
Then you can legitimately just leave.
Yeah.
Not just stop developing something midway through.
Without someone arbitrarily going, but it's still in early access. Oh my god, you never finished this. Oh my god! Like if as soon as you just have to tag it with that sweet 1.0, and it's like that argument kind of goes away. And it's like because you're declaring this is the game we want to make.
And also,
we wanted to make. That's the weight that carries.
And also, when you hit 1.0, you can get reviews.
Well, yes, technically.
Not that everyone hasn't already reviewed Power World, because everyone did it when the early access happened.
When it came out, yeah.
But, you know, they can do it again.
Yeah, but then sites like, I guess some of those aggregate sites will start listing it properly, right? They'll be like, okay, no, this is the game, so we can now start taking these in.
So we'll see if anything gets resolved before that point. See if they have to keep the creature summoning in the new way, or whether they can revert it back to the old way before the 1.0 happens.
Yeah, I wonder. That's all I got for news.
Well then, what have you been playing?
You're looking at me because we're all in the same room that we haven't mentioned before.
I'm sure you can tell by the audio.
Yeah. What have I been playing? Kind of a grab bag of stuff. I'm not really in anything particularly at the moment.
Because you're waiting.
Because you're grab bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting for Yakuza.
Yeah, well, no, actually, that's out of sequence. Like, I've ordered a copy of Yakuza 7.
Yeah, but you're waiting for it
copy
to arrive.
Yeah, but that's also not the next one I'm going to play.
Oh, okay.
Judgment is technically next on my. I'm going to call it the Camarocho timeline because, like, I think I mentioned it last podcast. Like, there's a Fist of the North Star game that RGG made after Yakuza 6.
But that's not a Yakuza game.
No, it's not strictly a Yakuza game, but it has a lot of the DNA from Yakuza in it, and it's there's a bit of me that wants to play it just because of that.
The same as Dynasty Warriors, where we've been playing the Nintendo version of it, but there are these like 9 other games we theoretically could play.
There's a billion other games. It's not just Dynasty Warriors, right? It's almost every Muso like.
Well, sure, but I meant the main line that isn't crossovers.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm kind of in between stuff at the moment. I'm still plugging away at Octahedron a bit. I don't know that I have too much more to say on that. Like, I find it equal parts cool and satisfying and irritating and frustrating. And that's purely down to the level design and the somewhat flip-flop nature of this is a cool idea and this works to, oh my god, this is quite a precise problem you've presented me with, and it's quite irritating to pull it off reliably. And your checkpoints are miles apart, so do I really have to do this again? Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, but the music's really cool. I love its vibe, but I flip-flop on its actual gameplay a bit. But it's cool. I don't know. I don't really understand why, but I think I mentioned a few podcasts back. I played through Cruis'n USA.
Mm-hmm.
I played through Cruis'n World on the N64. The sequel. The sequel is a step up from Cruis'n USA. It's still kind of a crap game, but it's kind of more of the same, just slightly refined. Technically, the N64 also got Cruis'n Exotica, which might be a bit better. I'm just kind of like, why were these games even a thing? Like, there's a bit of me that's like, there was a point in time where Cruis'n seemed to I don't know, it felt like it had a bit of weight of gravitas behind it, and it's kind of still does, because people liked that last Cruis'n game, Cruis'n Blast. It's one of these weird games that I'm not 100% sure I've ever really understood why it was semi-popular.
I mean,
so I'm playing through them just out of curiosity.
It always makes sense as an arcade game. Like, obviously, that kind of game is designed for that.
Kinda, right? Because that Fast and maybe you don't, but like the Fast and Furious arcade game that Raw Thrills made is basically a Cruis'n game. It's the same team, it's the same mechanics, pretty much, just with a different coat of paint.
That would explain at least some of the earlier games as they transitioned out of arcade into consoles. Like the Nintendo 64 ones presumably would have been.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is a lineage to that, right? Because Cruis'n USA was one of those games that Nintendo was trying to say, like the arcade at home argument when they were talking about Ultra 64, in the really early days. It's like, look what our console can do all this, and it's like, which turned out to be complete crap. Like, it couldn't do any of that. Like,
you end up with Hydro Thunder 64.
Yeah. It couldn't do real time silicon graphics like they were sort of saying it probably could. Like, it just, yeah. Nintendo talked a lot of shit before the N64 came out. But yeah, Cruis'n was kind of in the middle of that.
But then they continued to make them, I guess. They didn't stop making them.
No.
Unlike, I don't know, Daytona or something.
So I've played the arcade versions emulated as well with Cruis'n USA and Cruis'n World, and they're not much better, to be honest, than the N64 version. They're like visually, a step up, but like they're not better games in any way. To the credit of the N64 experience is remarkably close to the arcade experience. Not
a control stick instead of a wheel,
presumably. Not something you can really say about the N64 all that often. No. Maybe at all with any other game. Like, so I'll give them credit for that. That's probably all I've really got to say about that. Yeah. What else I've been doing? Bit more Deep Rock Survivor. I installed it on my PC and played a bit of that. The frame rate is a touch more stable on my PC than it is on the Xbox. I don't know. I felt more into it playing it on PC than I did on the Xbox. Maybe it's my proximity to the screen, right? Because it's right up in your face,
right?
Like I can't understand it. I can't define it, but it gelled with me a bit better sat here than it did on my couch in front of the TV. Don't have a reason for that particularly. Maybe the slightly better, the better frame rate. The fact that it supports unlocked frame rates, so it can run at 165 hertz on my setup. Maybe that helps. I don't know. Or maybe it was just the fact that it was a slight escape from a screaming child. I don't know.
You didn't have to be in the room.
No, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I had a pretty good time with that. Again, nothing really new to say on that. I think it's a competent survivors formula, but not as weird and wonderful and wacky as the best in the genre. Played some Horizon 5. Again, just tapping into my Game Pass, I guess, while I have it. I think because I've played Horizon 4 quite a bit recently, jumping up to 5, I'm just like, okay, now this really is a graphical leap between 4 and 5. There is quite a difference. It's quite a beautiful game, even if it's not doing any particularly hardcore modern rendering stuff. Like, the ray tracing is pretty limited and all that jazz, blah. But yeah, it's quite a good game. But I did have to futz around with the control settings a bit more, because I think I spoke about it before, how like I'm not a big fan of how Forza Horizon likes to damp your steering, particularly. So when you're playing in cockpit or driver view, or from the eyes of the driver, you can see it in action, right? Because the amount he turns the wheel
is correct. To
what it's putting on the car. Most of the time, I think there's some contention about that if you go and read the forums, but it means you can see when, like, if you ram the stick all the way to one side, he's not just immediately turning the wheel to full lock, right? He moves it there, but sometimes the game doesn't let you even reach full lock, right? Like it will hold you somewhere to presumably make it easier for you, because it's holding it there because maybe that's the grip limit of the car or something. So the game is helping you hold it there. And that bothers me sometimes, because it does, I think sometimes that damping, depending on the car, depending on the track, depending on the circumstances, there are times where I feel like that damping goes wrong and it over damps, and you're like, why on earth can't I turn in on this corner at all? And I ran into that problem going back to it again. And I think it's probably worse in Forza Horizon 5 than I think it is in any of the previous Horizon games. Or it feels more pronounced here. So yeah, there was one track in particular where I'm driving a Lamborghini Urus on a sort of dirt race, and there was just one corner. I could not get it, no matter how slow I went either. Like, I slowed right down, like uncompetitively slow compared to the how the AI was driving it, and I just could not get this thing to turn in because his arms just didn't look like they were turning enough into the corner. And I had previously said on the podcast that it's like I had fixed that issue by changing the controls from what it called standard mode into simulation mode.
Right.
I had to do the opposite to fix it in this particular instance. So now I'm no longer convinced there is a happy ground. Like maybe under certain circumstances in certain cars and certain tracks, simulation mode feels better. But in this particular instance, standard mode completely solved that problem. For some reason, I could now turn the car in. And I am playing on controller, I'm not playing on a wheel, so... I don't really understand what it's doing. Or what it's trying to do.
Do you know from reading forums that if you do have a wheel that it does match the wheel?
I think it can. I think you can make it like the wheel mode is more 1-to-1.
Right.
To an extent. I think it is still damping it a bit. Like, it's not a true simulation. Like Horizon is always applying some amount of assist there. But yeah, I don't know. Just when I that one moment really bothered me, like during that play session, because it is a good looking game. Like, I can drive my car in the game, which I always like. I don't know. That's a weird thing about the Horizon games. It's like when I had a Focus, it's like I can drive my Focus in a Horizon game. That's cool.
Although that's not my goal. You drive a Focus in
a lot of games. Yeah. But like now I've got an I-Pace. It's like Horizon 5 has electric cars in it, so it's like I can drive my I-Pace in a Horizon game, and it's pretty competitive, and that's cool. I like that. Like, I don't know, it just feels good. Like I can race against an EV6 and like have the ultimate showdown in my mind. Like it's and it looks great and feels great. But all the old Horizon problems are like sometimes I don't know about what it is about Horizon 5. Like I feel like it amplifies all of the problems that Horizon has.
The series.
Yeah, like there's an area on the map called the test track, which is I think a new thing for Horizon, where you can take a car there and it goes into it's not an event. It goes into a special mode where you not only are you in the garage able to change your parts around, but you can immediately jump out of the menus for the parts and just drive the car. So you can immediately feel the difference that's made.
Right, so you don't
and have to... that's great. Like, how has it taken so long for this to be a thing in the games? Like, it's a brilliant idea. But then I'm driving around the circuit, which is built looks like a proper racetrack with, like, cement walls that in the typical Horizon style just demolish immediately a car even whispers at them. Like, they don't have a proper cement collision physics, like, because the collision modeling in Horizon is so weird, like where everything is either made of paper or is solid. For some reason they thought these cement track walls were paper, and it's just like, what why did you do that's so weird. And I don't want them to do that anymore. And I hope in like Horizon 6 with the Japan setting that there's less of the possibility of just driving over a field and destroying everything in your path. It's like I don't want that. No. I want the physics to be more real. Not anymore. Like it was fine. I think when Horizon 2 came out, and you're like, this is fun. This is kind of a cool way of treating this, and it's like 6 games in, it's like, nah, you gotta do something else. And it's more pronounced in Mexico, right? Because the ground is fucking rocky everywhere.
Sure.
So you're driving over rocks that fire off like popcorn, and it's like, this isn't no.
I mean, it feels like it's just a random thing from a different game, where it's like Forza Horizon was always this weird mid-step between Forza being the simulation and, like, I don't know, one of the weird off-road games that people used to make.
Right, yeah.
So it seems like it was in the middle of that, but it's, like, leaning too far towards the weird off-road games, where it's like, you can just drive through everything off-road, but that would work better if it was an off-road game.
Yeah,
with, like,
maybe.
actual cars specifically for that and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The blend of... it is trying to be everything for everyone, and as a result... doesn't really nail everything. Like the road races don't necessarily feel perfect. The dirt racing, I think the dirt racing actually does, like when it's on a proper dirt track, actually is one of the more successful things about Horizon. Not, and I don't mean like the Trailblazer events where you are intentionally just rattling over fields and there's like the just the flares that indicate where checkpoints are. I'm not a big fan of those, but like the actual like rally-esque courses feel really good in Horizon, and like if they lent into that, I think it would be okay. But then that restricts them from being able to do like the Hot Wheels DLC packs that the one in Horizon 3 in particular was rad. That was a really cool DLC pack. Like Horizon 5 has a rally pack as DLC, which has got me interested. Like you want that Colin McRae era style racing, it's like Horizon has a go at it, and it's like maybe that's good. I don't know.
Like Gran Turismo trying to do rally, you know,
which it did back in the day, right? Yeah. But it was never good. Like the original takes on it weren't great. Maybe they got better at it. I don't know, but like I have no idea. So Horizon 5, like still, despite it being an incredibly pretty game, and still having all the announcer problems and all the storytelling problems and all the unskippable voice work problems. Yeah, it feels like this is the perfect storm of everything wrong with Horizon. Just feels more potent in 5. That's not to say it's a bad game by any shout. It's just
come on,
you really notice it. Yeah, I'm hopeful for Horizon 6, but I would be wrong. I am wrong to be hopeful about Horizon 6 because Microsoft, it's gonna just with the Halo thing. They won't change a thing. Right? There would be some cherry blossom, and that'll be it. Like
you never know.
I mean, I really hope, but I think I'm wrong to hope at this point.
It'll be on PlayStations though.
It'll be on PlayStation.
Gamers.
Yeah. What else have we been doing? Zach and I played some more.
I know you can't. I can never remember the name of it either. So.
God, what is that game called? Something of the Furies or Death Furies? Oh, bugger! We did a video of it and everything. Like, and I still can't remember that. Like, we really struggle to remember that. Anyway, so it's Celador's like 4-player co-op game. There's a video of it on Happy Salad. That game continues to be pretty cool, like especially as Zach and I start digging into the like secret hunting element of it.
Kind of. I mean, it is like classic video game secret hunting. Once you realise that it's going for all the classic tricks, it's like, oh yeah, you know, you input secret button codes at certain places, or you move in certain directions that the map shouldn't allow you to move because it tells you to.
Yeah. And it's like, you push this button in this specific location, or a button that normally doesn't do anything in this particular location, and something will happen. It's like, it's telegraphed, and but it kind of riddles you to do those things, and I don't know. I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. It is a bit tropey in that regard.
It's like everyone was doing it at the time, I suppose. It's a bit Fez-like, of course, because Fez was the sort of first one that did that to that extent.
Yeah.
It's like when we
this must have come well after.
Well,
that,
sure,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Like when we have an in-game clue that tells us to go and look at the trailer for the game to find the answer, it's like, oh yeah, that's classic semi-ARG stuff that video games started doing at that point after Fez. Post-Fez world.
Full Metal Furies. There we go. Yes, I did have to look that up. I don't know why it's just not a very memorable name. It just doesn't stay with me. I don't really know why.
Well, I know why I can never remember. It's because my brain has been permanently infected with Fury of the Fairies. So I have that anytime Fairies or Furies comes up, I'm like, that's just in there.
Yeah, 100%. I totally associate with that, and that's not even a game I played that much. Like, yeah. Just a weird artifact of being in the Amiga age, right? Yep.
And that wasn't even the system I had. I only know that because of Rob's Amiga. Yeah. It's like, that's secondhand for me, and it's still in there.
Yeah. Man, maybe we should go back and actually play that, see if that game was good.
I mean, it was a generic-ass platformer of the age.
Puzzle platformer, yeah.
So yeah, we played some more of that, basically.
Full Metal Fairies.
Full Metal Fairies. Okay. That'd be quite a different game. Yeah, it's probably all I've really got to talk about, I think.
What about you, Zach?
Well,
you've been playing?
I played some more No Man's Sky because they did another expedition immediately, which I thought was kind of ridiculous. Because normally those expeditions are up for 6 weeks or whatever. And then usually even past that, there's a gap before the next one. But this one, the previous expedition was only 4 weeks, and this one came up immediately afterwards.
Huh.
But I guess it was meant to be the Halloween expedition, kind of.
Right.
So they tried to make it, within the context of No Man's Sky, they tried to make a kind of a more spooky expedition, which was helpfully made by a couple of updates ago. They introduced the option where you can have an abandoned universe, or galaxy, I guess, because they're galaxies. You can have an abandoned galaxy where there's no NPCs.
Oh.
Which limits what you can do, because you literally can't progress certain things without the ability to interact with NPCs.
Right, yeah.
So it's just a setting you can set up when you're starting a new save file, but then they used that setting as the basis for this expedition.
How does that work for things? Does that mean the freighter doesn't exist because you've got no crew for the freighter? Or?
I don't know, because they showed screenshots of stuff from this expedition that seemed to suggest that freighters still happen, but I never had it happen. And I'm pretty sure I warped more than 5 times, which is the usual trigger for a freighter to show up.
Right, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Weird.
But yeah, it's just the slightly awkward thing about it is a kind of specific thing, was because the galaxy is abandoned, all the stations are abandoned, and abandoned stations are differently designed from the current stations because they're using the old design of the station.
Oh, neat. Yeah.
Which is kind of cool conceptually.
Yeah.
But the trouble with that is that even though they updated the abandoned stations to have Corvette landing pads, so they still land in the corridor, they forgot to update the abandoned stations with the teleporters to get to the Corvette landing pads. So if you land a Corvette in an abandoned station, you have to run all the way down the giant landing strip and past all the regular ship landing points to actually get to the bit of the station.
Yeah, okay. A little bit annoying.
It's and that was made doubly worse by the fact that the expedition kind of leans you towards using a Corvette. So it's you're going to be, and every station is like that because there's no non-abandoned station. So every time you land a station, it's oh, yep, here comes 20 seconds of extra running.
And it doesn't let you do the punch jump, right? To get
no, because you can't melee inside the stations. You can't even speed up your running or anything. So that's kind of dumb and silly, and I was kind of surprised they didn't fix that. But other than that, it was a fairly standard expedition, just no NPCs, which was in some ways kind of nice.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah. And there was some elements of like, oh yeah, I guess you can't do this without NPCs, so how do you do this an alternate way? Not super much of that, but when you do still have the market, which is kind of weird. So you can still buy and sell stuff, and it still has the same products on sale.
I mean, one could imagine that was just all automated by the weird sphere things anyway.
Although the other weird thing about that is in abandoned systems, even in the default game, the market data doesn't exist. So that was the case in every system in this, which means that the prices don't tell you whether they're good or bad.
Oh, okay. Right.
So you just have to buy whatever price it is.
Huh.
So I played that expedition, and it gives you the actual reward for the expedition is kind of unrelated to the concept of the abandoned universe. It's just like you get Atlas-styled parts for the Corvette, so you can make your Corvette all angular and red spheres and stuff.
Cool.
It's sort of cool, I suppose, but I still haven't actually built an actual Corvette. And also, I'm not sure how you get more of these Atlas parts. I think you can just craft them. Once you've unlocked the blueprint by doing the expedition, I think you can just generate more of them using regular crafting materials rather than having to buy them or anything like you can with the regular Corvette parts. And I also don't know whether the Atlas parts go into the drop pool that you can salvage from, because that's the free way to get Corvette parts, is just to go and get the salvage parts off the planets. So yeah, that's all you really get from that.
Is No Man's Sky still updating for Xbone and PS4, or did they make a next-gen cut-off at some point?
No, I think they are still...
I think it's updating.
Yeah, they're still updating. It's just
the Switch and everything, isn't
it? Switch is slightly more out of time, but it does manage to get updated.
I forgot it existed there, yeah. Yeah, that makes some sense.
I mean, it's usually the typical thing is you see the PC patch go through a day or two before the other ones, as is typical with PC patches, really.
I'm trying to remember why I asked that. I think it might have been Destiny, right, at one point that decided to... Oh, but that was Destiny 1 maybe, or something. They made because that game came out on 360? Was that where that came out?
I don't remember.
Yeah, and they made a gen cut-off at some point.
Right.
And I think Elite has done that as well at some point, where they've just said, no, we can't support the last gen anymore. We're just gonna we're gonna focus on current gen only. So yeah, I kind of wondered if No Man's Sky was entering that territory at some point.
No, we'll just continue to update it somehow.
I mean, good on them.
As they do. Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess that was the one other thing about the abandoned galaxy that was different as well. For some reason, the anomaly is abandoned, even though that lore-wise doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Because the anomaly is outside of the galaxy. That shouldn't be affected by what's going on inside the galaxy. But then you don't, because of that, you definitely can't buy any of the normal upgrades you get for the anomaly. Like those 6 guys at the back that give you access to all those upgrade trees.
Yeah.
Can't get any of them.
Huh.
So yeah, that was the No Man's Sky expedition. I played a bunch more Stationeers, but there's probably not much to talk about that. Covered it in the video.
Video next week.
Yeah, I played a bunch more of that. It's got the classic problem of in the last patch, they introduced a bunch of achievements, but they're all super long-term annoying achievements, and then I'm tempted to do them. It's like, survive a year on the moon, and it's like, that doesn't sound so bad, except for, I'm about a third of the way through a year, and I've kind of already done everything.
Right.
And it's like, so what am I going to do for the other 2/3 of this year?
Yeah, why would you do that? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I don't like the idea of ones like that.
Yeah. It's just they probably thought a year was a good idea just from the sound of it and didn't actually check whether that was a reasonable amount of playtime.
I mean, it somewhat reminds me of the kill targets from Gears of War, right? Those ridiculously high,
yes, where the numbers are meaningful, but then the gameplay sense, it's like, that's just ridiculous.
That's gonna take a lifetime to get. I've got my fill from this game. There's no way I'm going to just play it just to hit that target.
I mean, sometimes it is okay to have that kind of super hardcore achievement for it literally being a super hardcore achievement, where it's like, no one's ever going to get those. Because the next game that I also played more Rift of the Necrodancer, they have that, of course, as well, because Crypt of the Necrodancer and all of their games have that element of being insanely hardcore. In Crypt of the Necrodancer, it was like the last character you unlock is basically, it's almost in the Devil May Cry style where it's like you go to the one-hit kill mode, essentially.
Right.
But in Necrodancer, it was like, you can't miss a beat ever.
Whoa.
So you have to play the entire game with perfect timing.
Holy shit.
And you only have like one hit and everything else. It's just like, it stacks all the other difficulties on top of it.
Huh.
Although all the other characters in Crypt were ridiculous, even the first ones you get unlocked, like one of the earliest ones I tried playing a couple of times was like the monk, where you can't pick up money. But not just you can't pick up money, if you move onto a square of money, you die.
Oh, wow. Okay. Huh.
Which makes that game very difficult. Even more so than it already was.
I didn't realise that. Ugh.
But yeah, so in Rift of the Necrodancer, they have also super hardcore achievements of a similar thing, where it's like play full songs on impossible difficulty and, perfect timing. Perfect. 100% a song with perfect timing on impossible difficulty and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's an ask.
Yep. But people have done it, of course. Possibly more people have done that than the Crypt achievements. Like the Crypt, that last Crypt achievement for like the hardest possible character and everything. I believe last time I heard 6 people had done it in the entire history of that game.
Jeez, I can sort of believe it with Rift to an extent because, like, and rhythm games in general, like, because there's a certain like. There must be a crossover of skill, but like if you are a really talented musician, right?
Well, maybe, yeah. But yes, Rift had an update,
especially like one of those piano players that can can remember a symphony, or
can just sight read a thing and just instantly play it, perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rift had an update where they've added like player banners or whatever. So you can just make a little icon for your account for the leaderboards and everything.
Did Rift gain... Was the Shovel Knight update?
Yep, that was with this update. Is the Shovel Knight DLC, but it is DLC. You don't even get a free track. It's all DLC.
Damn though, that music though. That's...
Yep.
Shovel...
I haven't even played Shovel Knight, and I just watching the trailer. I was like, these sound like they're going to be real good tracks in Rift.
I'm almost more excited for the music in Mean and the Hollow than I am the game, because the Shovel Knight soundtrack is so good. And the remixes they did for Just Shapes and Beats. Oh.
And then weirdly, also announced in the trailer for the Rift update for the Shovel Knight DLC, they also did a DLC for Crypt to put Shovel Knight into that game.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to, you can play Shovel Knight in Crypt with that Necrodancer. And his special ability is like the pogo attack. So you move on to enemies, and then you can move on to consecutive enemies, and that makes your attack power go up.
Oh, cool. That sounds cool.
And you can also bounce off the walls as well, I think. So you can like move on, because obviously in Crypt you can dig out the walls usually, but with Shovel Knight you actually bounce off them as part of that chain.
Huh.
So you can upgrade your attack by bouncing along the walls and everything. Looks kind of crazy.
Yeah, that sounds neat.
But that's Crypt. That's an ancient ass game at this point.
Sure. Good ass game.
Yes. But very difficult.
Very difficult, yeah. But I didn't stick with that game nearly as long as you did. I
barely stuck with it.
I found that so hard, that game.
Yes. But Rift has difficulty options, so it's much more manageable. You can play it like I do, just play medium all the time and you're fine. It's a sane level of difficulty. I have occasionally tried hard, but not really. Because what I actually did this week or two when I've been playing it is I've started just playing Remix, where the enemies are randomized.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
And that's been helping quite a lot with like getting better at that game in general. Because it's like, now I can actually manage like the zombies and like when they're coming down diagonally, I don't have to think about it as much. It's like I can just see that coming, that kind of thing, when it's hella random. But of course, the other thing that Remix is really about is kind of memorization. Because if you remember the pattern of the song in rhythm, at least.
You know at least when you're supposed to be pushing buttons.
Yeah, or like if you know that there's certain bits of certain songs that have a pattern to them, the patterns will usually be the same even if the monsters are different.
Oh, is that so? That's what I was doing. Like the monster, the button presses will still end up in the same place, but how they're represented by the
basically.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
So that does kind of help in a lot of situations where if you remember a certain part of a song where it's like, there's one bit of one song where it just goes like 1 button press, 2 button press, 3 button press. And it does that like 3 times in a row. So it's like, if you remember that's coming, you don't even have to see what kind of monsters it is. You can just hit those buttons and it'll work.
Right. That's interesting.
So yes, there is some element of memorization in Remix as well as actual sight reading it.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing that quite a lot. But then the other thing I did in Rift of the Exiles is I went into the level editor, which unfortunately isn't great. I mean, it's cool that you can do it at all. That, you know, you can make an entire song and export it to the Steam Workshop and everything.
Cool.
But the editor it's a separate program, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I think it's built on the engine of like a different game or a game engine. Like it's built on something that's different from Necrodancer, so they've kind of hacked it to be a level editor, kind of. That's what it feels like.
Games Factory.
Yeah, kind of. Which means it's kind of awkward to use, and like there's a lot of things where it's like, why doesn't this quite work the way you expect it to in the UI and that kind of stuff? But yeah, you can make a level, so I tried to make a level, but I don't know. I don't like. Well, and the other problem, of course, of it being a separate application is like you then have to close it down and then launch the game to actually test it.
Right, yeah.
Like, you could have it play back. You would have it play the scroll and with the music playing, so you could actually see the rhythm of it and have a general idea what it's like, but that doesn't really translate to actually playing it.
Yeah, that seems like a fault, honestly. Yeah. You need to be able to try it as you're going, surely.
But at least it does just, there's no, apart from having to close one program and open another program, there's no additional steps to that. It does just save a file and then the game immediately can read that file.
Yeah.
And you don't have to upload it to the workshop in order to do that or anything. Right. It's just literally reading the files.
So yeah, for local tests, that's nice and easy.
Yeah. So I did try and make a song. But, my first problem is, like, I'm not great at rhythm to start with, so even getting the beats to line up took me a while to be like, does that sound right? Does that look like those beats are correct? What BPM am I at? Does that make sense? Would someone make a song at this BPM, or is this bad?
The answer is always yes.
Well, kind of. But also because I was making a level on one of the Bit Trip songs, which is also a rhythm game, so I was like, this has got to have a really obvious rhythm, right?
I think Bit Trip would have been fairly stable.
So yeah, once I got that figured out, I was like, yeah, this seems about right. But then the trick to making the riff levels is that, like, well, it's particularly bad in this Bit Trip song because of the way Bit Trip as a rhythm game worked, is like, it would be very easy to just, put everything on the beat because the Bit Trip song has a really obvious beat because it's a rhythm game song. But then you want to try and make them interesting patterns, so you have to start listening to other parts of the song and be like, what is it doing here? What other part of the song can I play off? But then you also have to sort of communicate that through the gameplay as well, which is a trick to be like, you sort of learn how to do it in the other songs, some of the songs in Riff, like, what part of the track am I meant to be listening to at this point that matches the rhythm that I'm playing?
Yeah. Which sometimes isn't super obvious.
Yeah. But in this map I was trying to make for this Bit Trip song, because of the way the Bit Trip songs are, the Bit Trip songs as individual tracks outside of the game are structured in basically like 4-bar sections. So there's a really obvious change of the song, because that's based on how the Bit Trip games used to do that. Like, you'd pick up the red cross and it would go like super ultra extra or whatever, where the song would change on each one of those steps as you progress through the level. So there's a really obvious hard cut, and that's kind of still in the track versions of those tracks. So I was like, oh yeah, that's helpful, because then I can just make a monster pattern for these 4 beats, and then have this really obvious transition in the music that changes to a different part of the track. So I tried to do that, but I didn't quite fully successfully pull it off. And there are still some things that are like, I don't know why it quite works like this. Like, I was trying to use a yellow skeleton where they run away after you hit them the first time, and then they're meant to bump into the other enemies and start coming back. But apparently, if you have the yellow skeleton be on a half beat, even if it runs into an enemy that's on a full beat, it still comes back on a half beat. It doesn't, like, settle into the hole properly. Reset,
yeah.
Which is weird. I was expecting it not to work like that, so I'm going to have to change that. And funnily enough, I also managed to make a thing that's not wrong exactly, but is technically impossible with default controls, because I forgot. Because I was making a hold note, and then I tried to have it so you press both the other notes midway down the hold note.
Oh, but that's like a down press, right, in that game? Or
well, no,
press,
it's like a single hold note. But if your controls support it, you can do that. But the default keyboard controls with arrows, depending on your keyboard, won't accept free inputs anyway.
Like it, right?
Like my one doesn't. So I literally can't play that on my setup.
Huh.
But you could theoretically do it. It's not technically an invalid pattern. But then I was like, I should probably take that out and make it at least default compatible.
but some keyboards will conflict on that. Yeah, okay, got you.
So yeah, I haven't quite finished tidying up that track, and I'm not sure about the end part of it either. I was trying to get fancy with like weird offbeats. Because I'm trying to match things in this song that aren't so much on the beat as most of the song is, but then it's like, how close can you get to offbeats? Because you are limited to, well, again, this editor does allow you to change the beat subdivision, but I feel like that's a real bad idea to move away from the thirds, because thirds is how far the enemy layouts go in Rift.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you're trying to cater for swing right in a track, then maybe you might have to get customizable. But...
Well, I mean, that is kind of what they use the thirds for in Rift, is the swing beats. But
I mean, sometimes like tracks, like only their on beats will be solid, but the offs, they'll drift them slightly. Sometimes it's a bit more subtle on that. Like the eighths will probably normally be okay, but the 16ths will drift off from where they are normally. So it's catering for that subtle drift might be a little bit tricky unless you get customizing.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying the default on this editor lets you do sixths, and I was trying to work with that with the thirds as well. But in some ways, there's also an element of you can get away with not matching the music incredibly precisely if it feels the same as the music. Like there was a couple of places where I'm using double thirds, and that is not technically the beat, but it's it fills the space in the right kind of way, and it feels more right, I guess. But yeah, and then you have to go through the track again and consider things like, where you're going to put all the health and where you're going to put the power-up chains and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I tried to do that. Maybe I'll upload this track. Maybe I won't. I'll have to still finish it. I
realised I said 16ths, but to use the parlance that you're using, I guess they would be quarters. That would be there's quarters and shift off, where you'd expect them.
Yeah.
If a beat was one, if a beat was one, the halves tend to be solid, but the quarters tend to drift in a more of a swingy rhythm.
But that's that game.
Assuming it's 4/4, of course.
Yes. Which this track almost certainly is. But yes, that was the Rift. So I've been playing it and I've been trying to edit it. I just wish the editor was slightly better. It's nice that it exists at all, but it could have done with... It must have been made by someone else and just made official. You can feel that about it. And if they'd made an official one, it might have turned out, better.
Or built into the game.
Yeah. Yes. And that was more or less all.
But then maybe putting it as a tool outside of the game makes sense, because you'll probably might need the track as reference or something, or other tools to help dial in what you're trying to do.
Well, I mean, it does it has some of those features, because it has the waveform next to the track. So when I was first trying to align the beat, it's I could just look at the actual waveform and shift it to try and line up with the beat lines. So that kind of helps.
Cool.
But yeah. It's just slightly too awkward, really. More awkward than you would like, but still impressive that it works that way anyway. Although another thing that I wish it would allow you to do is you can't do custom tracks in Remix. Because theoretically that should just be an algorithm. It shouldn't need to do anything. It should know the beats that exist. It should just be able to change the monsters.
Right. Does that imply that the remixes have actually been...
Well, no, because they're random.
Yeah.
So they are randomly generated. It just doesn't do it for custom tracks for some reason.
Weird.
I don't know why. I've only played like 2 custom tracks anyway. One of which is a song from original Crypto Necklace. And one was...
Shopkeep version.
Well, no. Actually, yeah, I don't think custom tracks can have Shopkeep version either.
Ugh.
Which is unfortunate. You'd think that could be automatic as well, but I suspect that's not automatic. I suspect those are actually pre-made.
That'll have to be pitched, and all kinds of all kinds of weirdness could happen if you didn't know what those actual notes were.
Yeah. And then the other track that I tried to play in custom was one of the Super Hexagon ones, but naturally, because it's a Super Hexagon one, it's fucking impossible. Because why would you make an easy level for a Super Hexagon song?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Although it is actually another cool thing about River the Necrodancer is that even if you fail, you still get your score ranked. So you can still look at how far my score on that Super Hexagon song and see how well I ranked compared to people who've even tried it.
Right, yeah.
Even if you fail.
That's kind of neat, yeah.
Yeah, that's that. And that's all I played. Mostly, apart from Rocket League.
God, if you still play Rocket League.
They're doing The Simpsons as the next
I'm sure they
shitty
are.
crossover.
Simpsons is also in Fortnite.
Well, that's why.
At the same time, yeah.
Yeah. That's coming soon, right? Simpsons movie 2.
Yeah. It's not far away.
So much media. One day it'll be cancelled, but for now, still got The Simpsons and Rocket League.
Isn't the general opinion
And
that
Fortnite.
The Simpsons is on the uptrend at the moment? No?
But we
Okay.
don't know.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I've not seen
I have no idea.
modern Simpsons, but...
Yeah.
Shim Shim, as Marzi calls it.
Shim shim.
Shim Shim.
Shim shim.
Did you play anything, Dan, this 2 weeks?
I played Donkey Kong, it's pretty good.
Oh!
You actually...
I played
Continue
Indiana
to
Jones,
play.
it's pretty good. I played
Banana.
Tetris Effect. I played...
Tetris Effect,
Into
yeah,
the Breach.
No, you played
I played
recently.
various games. Yeah, these are some good games.
How far do you think you're through Donkey Kong? Do you actually know?
No, not that far, I don't think. Yeah. I'll let you know if I get like halfway. Is it the same length as like Mario Odyssey or something?
I was trying to think of like, what is it, like 120 stars versus 120 bananas, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
It's more.
It's a lot more, isn't it? Like
But there's a lot of moons in freaking Odyssey.
Well,
isn't
yeah, it's more closer to Odyssey's count, probably.
Mm.
there? Yeah.
For obvious reasons, because it's basically just Odyssey 2.
Basically. Yeah. Well, they announced like you can get Mario Galaxy and stuff, right? For Switch 2.
Did we talk about that? I think we might talk about that last podcast.
Maybe.
The Galaxy Collection.
So maybe after Donkey Kong will be time for more Mario.
Well,
I never finished Galaxy 1 and I've never played Galaxy 2.
Yeah, you get them together, do you? Or no, you buy
for
them separately?
for like
For an
70,
insane price,
70
yeah.
quid, yeah, or whatever it is. It's
Jeez,
like, yeah,
okay.
it's not a bargain price.
Okay.
and you could have already had Galaxy from the previous re-release.
True.
When it was
Yeah.
in 2 other different
The
games.
time-limited one.
The
which I
3D
did not
All-Stars
get.
pack, yeah. Although it does seem they have done more work on it since that version of it. Like
Which
this,
is even more stupid.
controversially, some of it's good, some of it's bad.
Oh shit, I've just remembered a bit of news that we can maybe talk about real quickly right at the end.
Oh snap! Breaking news.
They're-
Except not breaking.
They're, for some reason, well no, I guess it's kind of obvious because it's Switch 2, they're updating Animal Crossing.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah, they
previous one.
Yes, that is happening.
Unlike my Fantasy League hope of unannounced Animal Crossing game this year, they're just updating the old one.
Isn't it January? There's some sort of new
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
event
Time
coming.
to play Animal Crossing.
But it's like, it's so long after it's been relevant, but like, you know, I guess it's cool that they're updating. But the trouble is that, again, they're doing these updates such a long time after it came out that introduce things that, like, you know, quality of life stuff that should have been there from the start, like being able to craft more than one thing at once.
Yeah.
It's like, god damn it.
Is that the focus of this January? Like a quality of life update as opposed to like, is it a new event? Is it a new
No,
calendar
it's
event?
like they've added a hotel to the island, which is sort of giving you access to some of the Happy Home Designer stuff, but for free.
Oh.
Like, you design the hotel rooms. And then...
Wait, so what remind me what Happy Home Designer was?
Happy Home Designer was the kind of semi-spin-off, but it was a DLC, and also a separate game before. But it was about, basically... In your house, in the regular game, you get rated on, like, the design of your rooms. So if you're using stuff that's styled the same or whatever, and the layout matters.
Right.
So Happy Home Designer was like that, but just as the game, where the whole point was to design cool rooms to make people happy.
Oh, interesting.
So they've kind of brought that into the base game in this hotel concept, where you're designing the hotel rooms with themes. But that seems to be the main thing. And then there's just some weird extra crossovers, like, here's the Zelda crossover for some reason. You can get Tulin as a villager.
Oh, okay.
Because he's just a bird, obviously, so they have bird villagers already. Yeah. Just make a skin that looks like Tulin, or Mineru.
I saw they've been sort of making a deal of the fact that you can play NES games within Animal Crossing again, like you could back on the GameCube.
Before, yeah.
Except it's not really the same because it's basically offloading you to the NSO service, and you need NSO to be able to do this.
Sure.
But then you need NSO for Animal Crossing to function.
Well, kind of, if you want any of the online capabilities. If you want to play 12 players, 12-player multiplayer for some reason, because no one even wanted 2-person multiplayer in that game, it was rubbish.
Yeah, why 12? It's a weird number.
Well, it's because there was 8 before, so they've just
made it slightly bigger. Yeah, okay.
And obviously it's a Switch 2 upgrade to the, slightly improved graphics.
24! Do America on it, go on.
That would be far too many. 12 is already ridiculous. 8 was already pretty ridiculous. But 12 people on that one island all being able to do stuff is pretty insane. Although that's another thing they've added, I guess, is the Dream Islands. So there's already the weird Dream Island system where you could... It was essentially what do you call it? Non-simultaneous? Asynchronous, that's the word I'm looking for. Asynchronous way of visiting other people's islands, basically. You'd upload them into the Dream version, and then it would just, have that version saved rather than physically having to wait for that person to be online and then go to their islands.
Right.
So they had that before, but they've now upgraded that to basically make the Dream Islands kind of a sandbox. So you can just have a fresh blank island that you can then just edit however the fuck you want for free. And you can do that in multiplayer. So you can just have a bunch of people come in there and design something cool.
Yeah, that could be kind of interesting. Yeah. For basically a creative mode.
Yeah,
kinda,
pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's the Animal Crossing update somehow coming in January.
Yeah.
Along with a Switch 2 version. Or update version.
Yeah, and it's a much cheaper update than what they've done. It's like half the price of the other
the
Switch 2
ones
updates they've done before. Yeah.
They were only £8 or something. What's this, £4?
Yeah, it's just like 4 or 5, something like that. Which is weird.
Nice.
It's like, why the price difference? It's
because Animal Crossing is less popular than Zelda.
Is it, though?
Well, less mainstream popular.
I don't know about
Despite 2020 being a whole thing with Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That doesn't really count.
Yeah, the pandemic times. All right, and that's the news. Time for what you've been playing. Rob,
yep.
What have you been playing?
Hang on a minute.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's time for the end of the podcast. Sorry. Let me get that right. Oh, no, we missed you then, Zach. Zach, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I didn't play Animal Crossing yet, but maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
In January.
Well, if you want to see what we've been playing, sort of, or at least one person playing and 2 people watching, commenting on for like an hour, then you could check out our YouTube channel. It's Happy Salad. We've got some videos on there of us playing games. What's the latest upload?
Vintage Story is the last one that's up there. Yeah.
Fixed macro blocking.
On YouTube.
Yeah, so check that one out if you want to see not Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft 2.
It's pretty interesting. And there'll be more on there coming up, and we'll be back with another Saladcast in 2 weeks' time. So
Station
we'll catch you then.
is next.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
With the HR face. That's it. Alright, yeah, bye.